check. Check, 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 check. Let me get this link to this brother real quick.
Yeah. Islam. I'm trying to be your friend, man. Trying to be your friend, bro. Help me out. Meet me halfway. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. And let me be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. And let me be your friend. Peace and love. Hey, yo, I used to be a thug until I met the prophet. Now I'm all about love, truth, peace, and freedom till I return to Allah. One day we gon' meet him. I'm all about justice. That's the focus of the message. Sometimes Asiatics make me want to forget the lessons.
Yeah.
Be all up in my passion.
Yeah.
I'm all the Moorish passion.
Yeah.
All things considered, I start laughing. A grown man with a ponytail. Enough to calling us Neanderthal.
And he all pale.
I mean, for real, this is what it comes to, my brother. We got nothing better to do than talk down to each other. Yeah, we can be scholarly, but we can get gutted. We are the children of a father, and the rest of our mother has nursed us all. And first of all, we beefing while the pings
Try and murk a soul.
You need to chill, my brother. Tell the elder the same.
Cause I'm a real man. I'm really about them things.
I can take the feds off and get back in the low.
And return to the place where they used to call me dope. But no.
I'm rolling with the prophet of Allah. Want love, not war. Standing on that floor, and I'm holding the square. The compass and the axe that might be too deep. Yo, let's not get off track. See, our prophet was an adapt. Do you know what that is? An Egyptian adapt. It's a brother who lived by the universal science developed in the Nile. We call it Islam, but it's the same, my child. Sit at the foot of a master. I train you up, but I might have to bang you up. I still love you. And those that's talking that this ain't Islam, everything the prophet brought is in the Koran. All the other stuff, prostrate and cover up is just the start. And there's space to me, the law is the heart. You can dress like Imhotep, but you can dress like a herb. While the Moorish American Muslim unifies the word. You can say what you want about Dr. York, but he gave you different variations of the same thought. You don't appreciate that. You won't appreciate me. Appreciate the holy and divine true by league. People refuse to admit it. He the first that ever did it. Europeans hope that the Moors would forget it, but we're here, strong, alive and well, resurrected from hell, with a story to tell. So pay attention and listen and consider the facts. You know it's humanly impossible for you to be black. I guess a Chinaman is yellow, a Mexican is brown. Just think for a second how ridiculous it sounds. We can turn it around, but we must unite. It's okay to disagree, but we don't have to fight. Cause if we have to fight, you know how we get. I'm still learning to love. No, I'm not there yet. So work with me, fam, and I'ma work with you. And let's all work together and do what we gotta do. Cause on the real side, we haven't made no progress since 1929 when the prophet left the flesh. We got an Asiatic president, men marrying men, psycho shooting up a club and don't see his own sin. And those that say they conscious to took your fuck, move straight to Hollywood, straight living it up, and y'all picking it up, straight cheesing and grinning. But it was your bread to help them set it off in the beginning. Be careful what you put in your soul, cause it could blind you. Unfortunately, some people get paid to disguise you. Oh yeah, I wanna be your friend.
Peace and love.
Let me be your friend.
Peace and love.
I said
You will never. You ain't never. You ain't never. Ever. You ain't never.
no matter more like this, and you ain't never ever gonna be one again. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. So let me be your friend. Peace and love. Oh yeah, you ain't never met a more like this, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. So let me be your friend. Peace and love. So let me be your friend. Peace and love. I wanna be your friend. Yeah. Let me be your friend. We ain't trying to be enemies. I wanna be your, so let me be your,
Hey.
I wanna be your friend. Hey, yeah.
Islam, Islam, Islam. Islam, Islam, Islam. Peace, 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 family. Let me do my Pharaoh voice. Peace, 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 family. Peace, 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 family. Hey, when somebody come in and they say, peace, 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 family, y'all better watch out. They got some drama with them. I'm trying to tell you. When they come in like, peace, 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 family. That's the whole sign. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. It's about to be some foolishness. It's going to be some craziness. So, family, I will wait till a few people get up in here real quick. But we're going to talk about this. Let me pull up the our brother Ben X, man. About to be some foolishness. It's going to be some craziness. What did I do?
Oh, that's me.
So I got my brother on here. Family, I will wait till mute you real quick. But we're going to talk about this. Let me pull up the I got to mute you. All right. So before we get started, first and foremost, let me rise and give praise to the great God of the universe of law. I give honor to his prophet Noble Ali. I give honor to the forerunner of the prophet, Brother Marcus Mosiah Garvey. I give honor to each and every one of you, family. We're going to get started right. It's like 9:14 on the East Coast. So we're going to get started right now. And I got my brother. I'm going to have him introduce himself. We was kind of going sort of toe-to-toe, but it was a dialogue that really couldn't happen in a way that it can happen here. So that was on Brother Ben X feed earlier. And we are going to, oh man, we need more people with the thumbs up, man. Y'all got to help share this. This going to be a good one tonight. Y'all playing around. You got to help share this, family. It's going to be a pretty good one here tonight. So I'm going to delay a second, man, so y'all can help get this to the people. He said that Ben X podcast was crazy. Whoever dude was that came on after you is a fool. Man, we got some great, man. Listen, this is why I do what I do, so we can set the standard as to what's what. You know, this is why I do what I do, family. It is what it is, family. You know what I mean? We're gonna keep it 100 Moorish. It is what it is. And when I say Moorish, I'm speaking through the teachings of the Prophet Noble Ali. But without no further delay, everybody else, we'll let them come in when they come in. But I ask everybody share this. Everybody hit the thumbs up. As I said, I learn some new words every now and then. We're talking about algorithms. Algorithms, family. You know what I mean? When you put the thumbs up, that helps get it into rotation. Hold up, family. Let's do this the right way. Make sure our guest got a minute real quick. Brother, you got a second real quick? Let me get my intro music. I need my intro music to get it right. It got to be right. You know what I mean? I was like, hold up, man. I'm too calm, man. Hold up, man. Let me get my intro music, man. Let me try my intro music real quick. Let me see what I got here. And then we're gonna bring the brother in real quick. Man, I got a lot of intro music, man. Let me see. Man. I guess we're gonna have to go. Let me see if anybody said anything in the chat. What's the intro music good for today? I mean, James Mosley, we're gonna talk about that in a minute too. What's the good intro music for today? I guess the good info. Hey, we're gonna go with slow-mo. Yeah, let's go with slow-mo. Never die. Never. We don't never die. Down no more. They just slow-mo. Let's go. Let's get the intro going. Let's get the link going. Let's go, family. They just slow-mo. Man, we gonna keep it right. Hey, down no more. They just slow-mo. Listen, they just slow-mo. See, I be coming at these Moors, and it's very simple. Why I be coming at these Moors? Because I don't consider them functional Moorish American Muslims as it relates to the teachings of the Holy Prophet Noble Ali, the founder of the full scientific of America. You and your daughters, your little followers, you all out of order. I ain't taking nothing from you crooks. Cujo, Tanch, Sabir, I got them all shook. I wish Cujo would step up to get his rep up and get head up from the neck up. You gonna respect us, our elders must told me keep the people where they at. But you lower than the worm, so you know you meet the tech. Let's keep it simple, more. I'm a temple, more. Either you wanna talk knowledge or you wanna go to war. Cujo, I will drag you by your dreads till you beg. Detach your arm, leg, arm, head. Boy, you don't want these problems. I know the law well. The policy enforcers be the same one you go tell. They're gonna call them little names. Get on YouTube, let them little games talk tough like you bout that. And I'm gonna forget how far I came. I never forgot my aim. I never forgot my ammo. I pray to Allah, but I still tie my camel. Let's talk about this knowledge that you think you have. Matter of fact, forget it, boy. Don't make me laugh. They don't know, Mo. They just slow-mo. They don't know, Mo. That's enough. That's enough. Let's get it. Slow-mo. Let's get it. But they gonna learn today. Hold on. I like this verse too. Hold on. Come on, man. Share the link, man. Share the link. Let's go. So now, what you gotta say, huh? I broke the rules because I'm a sheik and a Muslim and I'm talking about tools. Boy, you know the lessons. The tools are to refine and mine are inclined to workshop on your mind. You know about the hammer, make it a part of every part. And I want to meet a law, so I'm aiming at your heart. You on that 720, I'm on that 12 step. I'm at the pinnacle of wisdom. So miss me with them threats. Mean mugging and cussing, boy, it don't mean nothing. Not going out like Malcolm, I'm going out fussing. But I prefer discussion, authentic more science. Taj Tariq Bey, you know he's straight line. And separating scans with the holy divine. Must have lost his mind, but just as ain't blind. And it's about to catch you at any given moment. You looking at the throne, boy, can't you see I'm on it, huh? Can't you see I'm on it? You looking at the throne, boy. Can't you see I'm on it? Can't you see I'm on it? You looking at the throne, boy. Can't you see I'm on it? Looking at the throne, boy. Can't you see I'm on it? Can't you see I'm on it? You looking at the throne, boy. Can't you see I'm on it? Can't you see I'm on it? You looking at the throne, boy. Can't you see I'm on it? Y'all Moors better get it right. I'm sitting on the throne. Listen. Taj Tariq got y'all thinking that he great. He teach law and civics, but never be the case. I never seen him in court approaching a bench, but people who follow him, they do this nonsense. I think the right to travel. I never seen him whipping. He pointing away, but doing something different. And y'all been hustled and scared to admit it. All we may get paid in fiat, but call it fictitious. Y'all ridiculous. Falling for the pseudo. The right to travel ain't even worth for Cujo. All up in Canada, quoting U.S. law. Deaf, dumb, and blind, boy, you just lost, huh? They don't know, Mo. They just slow-mo. Oh, y'all ready now? They don't know, Mo. Hey, y'all be coming at these Moors. Man. Woo! I'm ready now. Kaiser. Man, I'm trying to wait for the chat to fill up. I got a brother here, right? I got a brother here that been talking some stuff, man. We got to get y'all ready. I think y'all ready. All right, I think y'all ready. Let me bring my guest in. Let me bring him in. I got to bring him in right. I had to get pumped up because he might try to two-piece me. I'll be that more you gonna remember. I'm going to be that more you gonna remember. Hey, I'll be that more you gonna remember. The Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. Let's go. Man, I'm the happiest Moor on the place of the earth. Let's go. I'll be that more you don't remember. The Hawker Bay front line. Check it. If you're a friend of the Moors, then you're a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those who speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet Noble Drew Ali, who was the first to remind you and bind you back to Morocco, the lands of Mississippi and connect. Told you wasn't black. Proved it was straight fact. You tripping off Trump, you need to be tripping off that. Now here we go again, acting like you a slave. The same people taught Europeans how to bathe. And look at our women buying European hair. No love for self, but do the men really care? Hell nah, cause they got a love for your whole generation chasing pills, weed, and syrup. Yeah, they love Lil Yachty, Tucci, Gucci, Kodak, Amigo, Ross, Boosie. But where the love for the woman look like your mother, I think they say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now, Cypher. Hey, man, come on, man. I done gave it too much, man. I done gave it too much, man. Dog, Bay, front line till the law, call my number. I gave him too much. I done gave him too much, man. I done gave him too much. But welcome to another edition of Moorish World TV. Let's get straight to it. I got a guest in the building tonight. I'm going to unmute him and let him introduce himself, and we're going to see where this conversation go. It's unscripted. It is what it is. I don't know where it's going to go, but we're going to be respectful. We're going to let each other talk, and then we're going to get into it for at least a minimum of 20, 30 minutes. Is that good with you, brother? Okay, let me unmute you. It's not. So first, let the people know where you're calling from, where you're at, and you know, a little bit about yourself briefly so we can get busy. Let's get busy. Because you was talking some stuff today. So let's go, brother.
Greetings. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I am Kanoa Ali, Maku Kaiser, 316 degrees. I'm from the Mu Empire. I'm also a part of the Damaru Society. I want to give you greetings and acknowledge what your work and what you're doing. Now, I wanted to simply give you my overstanding on a couple of the things that we have. I would say a common point to reference on our back and forth on this particular build. Now, there was a video that you did back called Moorish Americans are claiming to be white. Now, I'm white. I don't know if you know that or not, and when you did this video, I noticed that you did a lot of backward stuff. Hang on. I noticed that you twisted a lot of that Moorish American 101 and not really giving them the proper perspective to look at things, especially if they're going to involve themselves in something commercially like the census, because the census is record keeping. So if they're going to participate in census, and if they listen to you and do what you advise them to do, which I would say do not do that. And the reason why you should not do that, in which, let me make sure I get this correct. On that video, you claim to say, do what you did last time, which was write in a box, Moorish American or more to that extent. Is that correct? Or no?
Oh, no. I said right in Asiatic. That's what I said.
Okay, writing in Asiatic. If you do that, they will make a visual determination. So if you do that, they'll look at you and they'll go, you look black. If you're not white, you are black. And also I wanted to get back on the whole Moor thing. I know a lot of y'all claim to be Moors. I'm gonna tell you, knock that out. Stop that. If you're Moorish, I can accept that, because Moorish Americans, ish means of or away from. So it means pertaining to a Moor, not an actual Moor. None of you guys are real Moors. Real Moors are pale Moors. And I could prove it with any etymology, dictionary, or lexicon. It's right in there, says Moor, black. Says it in many different variations of Moor in all the different aspects that I've defined. It all shows the same universal truth, that it means black. It's synonymous with black. So when y'all saying y'all not Negro, black, and colored, but you're saying you're a Moor and not Moorish, that's in complete opposition from what Noble Drew Ali brought to you, as far as not being Negro, black, and colored. So I wanted to bring that to your awareness, to your forefront of your consciousness, to bring your rational mind to awareness of that, so that you could correct that. Because if you look at the Moorish 101, number 93 specifically, when you went into that video, you had jumped and back and forth with this whole Yaqub degree, and you know that. Let me pull up the Moorish American 101. I got it right here. So right here on number 93, it says here, what title does Satan give himself? And it says God. And you use that as an opportunity to say, oh, because Satan identifies as God is the reason why you shouldn't identify as God. Hence white. You shouldn't identify as white because Satan identifies as white. And you're like, well, the Europeans are identifying as white. And yeah, that's why he said it, because these Europeans, the so-called Europeans, which are pale Moors, are white, or not white, but they are Satan, and they're identifying as God when they're not, because Satan is a liar. Satan's the master of all lies. So I'm saying, if you put it into that perspective, the way that it should be, you would be able to identify it as white and be proud of that and utilize that as Noble Drew Ali instructed you to do, so you could get remedy commercially. Because if you die as a Moor, ain't nothing gonna happen for you. If you die as black, ain't nothing gonna happen for you. However, if you die as white, then you're entitled to remedy. Your family are entitled to remedy. Everyone else is entitled to be able to stand on your behalf and in your defense, because then you will be on the right side of the law. White side, right side. It's really that simple. Race is very explainable. You made it like it was a suggestion where it's their version of race, and I'm like, there is no such thing as their version of race. It's all about contextual, commercial things here. So if you put race in the context of what the census is for, it's for common lineage. So race is an act. The etymology of race is an act. It's actually an act of running. Now, an act is an action. So if I'm acting white, I am right and exact. I'm acting right in accordance. I have a right because I am God. I am acting as God. And according to Noble Drew Ali's 101, it says here, will you define the word white? White means purity. Purity means God. God means ruler of the land. So I believe you also mentioned Sharon Tracy Gale Bay. Now, Sharon Tracy Gale Bay had a similar, a relationship to not wanting to claim or identify as white as you. And look at what happened to her. On her cards, it's identifying her as a human. If you know what a human is a 3/5 monster. A man is a monster. A man is a derivative, a mammal, an animal. Okay, so if you're an animal, that's on you. I would say that you don't fit the description of an animal. I don't fit the description of an animal. I don't fit the description of black, Negro, to colored. I do fit the description of white and light. And that's what I wanted to share mainly with all of you today.
All right. Now, let's get this clear. Do you follow I heard you mention the one-on-ones and Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Do you subscribe to the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali?
Yeah, actually, I believe that I'm in line with the teachings of Noble Drew Ali.
Excellent. Are you able, let me ask you a question. Are you able to make adjustments if you find fault or error in what you're saying? Are you able to do that? Okay.
Absolutely.
So when we look at the census, right? The census asks one specific question, not five. The answer on the census is, what is your race? Mm-hmm. You follow me? That's the question. There's not 20 questions on there. There's one question. It says, what is your race? According to Prophet Noble Drew Ali, what is the answer to that?
White.
That's not true. According
how
to
is it
Prophet, no, I'm about to tell you. According to Prophet Noble Drew Ali, our race is Asiatic. Did you know that?
No.
I'm going to prove it to you. No. I'm going to prove it to you right now. Right here is the prophet makes a plea to the nation. Our divine and national movement stands for the specific grand principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And I, the prophet, am applying to all loyal, faithful Moors, members, and American citizens to help me in my great uplifting acts of uplifting fallen humanity among the Asiatic race. Now, that's just one place, but I can show you in multiple places where Prophet Noble Drew Ali refers to our race as Asiatic. So I'm going to ask again. The question on the census is asking you, what's your race? So according to Prophet Noble Drew Ali, our race is what?
All right, I got a question for
No. I need you to submit. I need you to submit to the will of Allah right now. What is our race according to Prophet Noble Drew Ali?
You can't bully me into this whole thing.
I'm asking you. No, do I need to show you more examples?
No, I just want to respond before you keep.
Let me show you more examples. Right here, Prophet Noble Drew Ali is supporting Oscar the priest, right? Oscar the Priest is not necessarily a proclaimed Moorish American Muslim, so he refers to Oscar the Priest as such. Oscar the Priest. He outlined very simply but very forcefully the matters involved in the congressional campaign of the first Asiatic congressman. It's a known fact that Prophet Noble Ali refers to us as Asiatic, and that's our race. So again, the question now is, are you following the Prophet Noble Ali, or are you interjecting your own understanding with the question?
I am not a part of the Moorish Science Temple.
No. That's why I asked you, do you say you follow Prophet Noble Ali?
I'm not. You can't subscribe me to the
No.
Moorish.
But listen what I'm saying.
I don't subscribe to that doctrine.
But no, I asked you beforehand, do you follow the teachings of the Prophet Noble Ali? You said yes.
I studied it. Yes,
you said yes. So if you do, and you're quoting the questionnaire, you're absolutely wrong at this point.
Okay, and I want to interject here.
Let me say this real quick, brother, in your defense. I'm gonna let you go. The brother said I used a newspaper clip in my defense. Mind you, that's the newspaper that Prophet Noble Ali published. That's his paper. This is not some random paper. It's Prophet Noble Ali's paper.
That Noble Ali was wrong. Have you ever considered that?
No, because I follow Prophet Noble Ali.
Because you're doing your idolatry. That's idolatry.
No.
That's idolatry. Allah don't mess with idolaters. Like
hey,
all
brother.
the stuff you got right behind you is all idolatry. You're in a temple and you're doing idolatry.
No, listen to me, brother.
That's not idolatry. Like you're telling me that Noble Ali's word is somehow infallible, and there is nothing that needed to be corrected, and there's nothing that needed to be mended, or even whatever. But I'm saying this: if you want to pull out this newspaper clipping and go, hey, this is how Noble Ali put it in that term, I would say I wouldn't follow that. Even if Noble Ali came out and said that, I would say Noble Ali,
and that's cool.
I need to bring this to your attention, Noble Ali, brother. I need to bring this to your attention.
Listen to what I'm saying. This is where the conversation ends, because you don't follow Prophet Noble Ali, and I'm not going to try to convince you to.
He's not my God, though. I don't worship him.
No. Me neither. Listen,
you worship Noble Ali. Yes, you do. You have those pictures all behind you. That's idolatry. I don't worship him.
Okay.
I studied his work. I honor the brother. I salute to what he given, but you in the Moorish Science Temple of America has not progressed in the past 100 years. You're on the exact same place that you've always been. Okay. And those flags right there is a direct representative of the state that you're in, this fallen state that you're still in.
Excellent. Now, what I'm saying is this: my mission is to give clarification to the teachings of Prophet Noble Ali. And you don't subscribe to the teachings of Prophet Noble Ali. And so if you proclaim to be a Moor, then it's just—
I don't proclaim to be a Moor. Okay. I'm not a Moor.
So here we go again. So this conversation is really not— it's not beneficial.
But you'll talk to the Nation of Islam and you'll entertain that conversation. But me being from the empire,
no,
I have an adult dialogue back and forth with me.
Brother, listen to me. The only reason I talk to the Nation of Islam on this sort of dialogue—
they're black. You talk to them. They're black.
Brother, the only reason that I talk to the Nation of Islam, my brother Ben X, who's my brother, because I feel as though that there was a misrepresentation and a mischaracterization.
But I'm not your brother just because I don't subscribe.
No.
I don't worship Noble Ali. I'm not your brother.
No.
But your brother's with a black man.
No, listen to what I'm saying, brother. When somebody misrepresents the teachings of Prophet Noble Ali, that's my concern.
Well, you twisted the words of Noble Ali to say that, oh, you shouldn't identify as white.
No, I didn't say that. You can identify as whoever you want to. What I'm saying is the question asks, what's your race?
All right, I got this for you. It just popped in my mind. What is the colors on a race flag?
On what?
On a race flag. What's the colors on a race flag?
What is the race flag? I'm not familiar, brother.
A race flag, huh? I'll show you a picture of a race flag. You know what a race is, right? You ever participated in a race, in a competition of any sort? You ever played sports or anything like that? What's the color on the referee's shirt? Is it Asiatic on there? Is it Moorish on there? Or is it white and black?
So now, that's the race flag. But I don't subscribe to that. That's the point. Brother, listen to what I'm saying.
That's common sense.
Our conversation is not going to go nowhere because you don't have a criteria that I follow, and I don't have one that you follow.
You're letting this whole idolatry kind of just run you into the floor. I'm like, yo, just look at a race flag. It's white and black. It's not Moorish. Brother, it's not Asiatic. Let me ask you a question. You're not going to find an application anywhere with Asiatic or more on there. You're not going to find it because it doesn't exist. Brother, it's not a part of a race. It's not an actual.
I totally understand that. But what you're saying,
I don't need you to understand me. I need you to understand what I'm saying. Understanding
I understand and understand. What I'm telling you is that has nothing to do with the Moorish Science Temple of America, so it doesn't concern me.
How does it have nothing to do with the Moorish Science Temple of America? The majority of the Moorish Science Temple of America are Freemasons. Freemasons are very well aware of this. They're very well aware of what I'm saying.
I'm aware of what you're saying too, but
okay, so if you're aware of what I'm saying, then why are you still pushing this lie? Why are you still acting like Asiatic is even a race even to have a conversation about? It's not.
It has nothing to do with
Asiatic is not a race. You're not going to find that anywhere else besides that little news clipping. You're not going to find it anywhere. You're not going to find it on any application anywhere.
Okay, you're right, brother. Anything you want to say in closing, brother? Because this is not going to go nowhere. I don't want to waste time on this. You know what I mean?
No, I just wanted to give you and your audience an opportunity to do the right thing, to be white and be right, be correct. Because if you're not white, you are black. If you are claiming to be a Moor, you are black. That's undeniable. And you don't want to touch on that.
No, what I would do is
you don't want to touch on.
The reason why I'm not going to touch on it because tomorrow I'm going to do a presentation where the professor James Small says Moor means black, and I'm going to show you. And okay, I'm glad you think so. Tomorrow,
it's not that I think so. It's right here. I can pull up the etymology of the word right here.
Absolutely,
I can show it to you right here under 5 minutes. I can pull it up right here.
I'm going to show you with emphatical proof. I'm going to show you emphatically that you're wrong. I'm going to show you wrong.
Show it right now. I can show you right now. Listen, and you want me to wait till tomorrow, but I'm going to right now.
Because I'm doing
that was one of the issues we had.
Listen to me. I'm going to show tomorrow because I'm addressing Professor James Small calling Moor and saying Moor mean black. I'm telling you that you're wrong. Now, if you want to I'm going to go before the etymology book that you have was put into print and show that you're wrong. But you just got to wait till tomorrow. Bro, I got another brother coming on. I don't think we're going to go any further with this conversation, brother.
I'll let you go. I'll let you go do your thing. I appreciate you letting me build.
Indeed, brother. Peace and love. I appreciate you, brother. Maybe we can build another time on something else. But I'm representing the Moorish Science Temple of America, the teacher of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and those who give misinformation according to the Prophet. You don't follow the Prophet, and you don't agree with him. So it's good.
Be white and be right. Don't follow these blackamoors. Blackamoors ain't on it. Be white, be white. Be white and be right.
Indeed, bro.
I appreciate you again, brother. Peace.
Indeed. Thank you, bro. So there you go, family. This is primarily what I'm talking about. Primarily what I'm talking about is people scream out Prophet Noble Drew Ali's name. People say that Prophet Noble Drew Ali said this, and they haven't studied Prophet Noble Drew Ali. They, at first I asked them specifically. I did a Ben X on them that time. I said, brother, do you subscribe to the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali? He said, what did he say? Yes. And he actually read the questionnaire. So then when I tell him, like, it's many people, and this is not condescending or disrespect, many people seem to have a comprehension problem. It's a comprehension problem. If the census asks, what's your race? Prophet Noble Drew Ali teaches more. I'm not saying those outside of the Moorish Science Temple of America. I can't speak for them. But nor can they speak for us. This is the whole point. And so when the census asks, what's your race? and you subscribe to the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, there is no option outside of what the teachings dictate. And he might want to call that idolatry or whatever he want to call it, but we just agree that this is proper way to move, and that's how we move. So with that being said, I got another brother. I got my brother, and I thought I was going to need a moderator to moderate the time. So I sent the link to my brother, but he's in here today. And my brother James Mosby, he asked the question. He said, I think he asked, what have the Moors done? Let me see. James Mosby, ask that question one more time. Ask that question one more time, James Mosby. What have the Moors done? Something. You know, I love that question right there. And we're going to break it down. But I'm going to break down some of the science to you in a minute. To everybody. I want to get my brother on too. Let me give him the link. Let me get my brother Ikramula. Ikramula, if you're in the chat, hit me a messenger real quick. Send me a text and messenger so you can come up on my feed so I can give you the link. Because I want to see what your gripe is about the Nation of Islam too. Because brother, you be coming in that chat with the nation, and I want to see what your gripe is. Islam, Sheik. Brother, come on, brother, introduce yourself. Let the people know who you are, brother. Straight up, flat out. You know, hey, Wednesday starting next week on Moorish World TV, we're going to have straight up, flat out. Somebody asked me, brother, you wouldn't believe this, Sheik, said, brother, you used to have it was something I used to do called something Wednesdays, where I used to look at all the current affairs on the news, and then I used to look at them from a Moorish perspective. That's what I was on Moorish World, not Moorish World TV. And they were like, when you going to do that again? When you going to do that again? And it's right on time for what we was talking about with our program, our podcast that'll be coming up straight up, flat out. You know what I mean? So, you know, with the straight up truth, and we lay the truth flat out. You know, it is what it is. So, brother, introduce yourself. Let the people know who you are, because they better get familiar with you, because we about to give it to them raw in the next few months. Let's go.
Islam, first I rise, giving praise to Allah, the great God of the universe, giving high honors to our Prophet Noble Drew Ali, last prophet in these days of times. My name is Brother D. Jackson L, Sheik D. Jackson L, straight up out of the West Coast, brought it to the East Coast.
Indeed. So, brother, did you get a chance to view the feed from Ben X yesterday?
Yesterday? You talking about earlier today?
Oh, no, let me answer this question. So James Mosby, not earlier today, the one yesterday, I think. But anyway, let me get with James Mosby. He said, what is the greatest contribution to the so-called African Americans in North America? The Moors' greatest contribution. James Mosby, let me tell you something. The greatest contribution has yet to be matched to the contribution that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali made. Prophet Noble Drew Ali is the standard. And since the time of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, that standard has yet to be matched. And that's the fact of the matter. And this is the reason why I am doing what I do. So we can push forward to match and even expand and extend that standard. So I'm giving it to you raw. What has been laid down is a blueprint. Nobody seems to be sticking to the script. Nobody seems to be sticking to the blueprint. The greatest contribution, though, the greatest contribution, there is no person that organized our people around a concept that we have a lost identity. No one before the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. There is no one that organized us around a universal concept that we have a nationality, just like every other group of people on the face of the earth. Let's just think about it for a second. When a group of people when you look at, and I say this in the temple all the time, when you look at the Jewish people who suffered the Holocaust, and they was burning the Jewish people up, the European Jew, and incinerators. They was doing crazy examinations and crazy trials and tests on European Jews. They was dumping them in piles of rubble and on top of body after body after body after body. You follow me? Now, one thing for sure and two things for certain, whether people believe that they're Jews or not, is not the argument. When they came out of that atrocity, they had not forgotten who they claimed to be, which is Jewish. When you look at the Sudan, the same exact thing. No matter the atrocities on the planet Earth, no matter what was met by any group of people, on the other side of that, the Sudanese knew they were Sudanese. The South Africans knew they were South Africans, and they knew what tribe that they was coming from. But us, the greatest contribution, we had no clue that we were missing a key component to understanding who we are and what we could be, and that's identity. You know, it's very clear that every group of people gain their strength from their past accomplishments. But when you look at us, we had not the ability to do that. And this is why you have people grabbing information from ancient Kemet. You got people grabbing information from the Israelites. You got people grabbing information from the Bible. You got people trying to be Muslims all in the East, because it's an identity crisis that has them separated from their greatness. And so if you ask me, the greatest contribution is that nationality piece. The greatest contribution that Prophet Noble Drew Ali gives, and I'm not filibustering, is to let you know that you can manifest God within you to the outer parts of you. That you can manifest God. That you don't have to look way up in the sky for God. That you can manifest the God in you and be a God man or God woman. Now that's a bit controversial. But we never even thought of ourselves as being that great as a God, to manifest God. So that is the greatest contribution. Now, the problem is very few has built on it. But that's what I'm here for. Because I'm not tripping off the elders that's misled me. I'm not tripping off the elders that did not give it right to me. I got it right now, understanding what I must do. And so that's the greatest contribution. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali is the greatest contribution to humanity, to me. But that doesn't mean that's to everybody. You follow me? No, brother. Elijah Muhammad did not do that first. Nope. He did not do that first, brother. Big Don, Elijah Muhammad did not teach the God degree first. No, absolutely not. Emphatically, no, he did not. We can prove it if need be, but absolutely not. Elijah Muhammad did not teach the God-man degree first. No, not at all. Not at all. But let me get this other brother here. By you speaking of Elijah Muhammad, Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I got a brother in here that always comes on Ben's feed, man. Prophet Noble Drew Ali taught it first. Prophet Noble Drew Ali taught it first. Absolutely. Matter of fact, let me pull it up for you just to get you right. Prophet Noble Drew Ali taught it first. I'm going to pull it up in a minute. Is that you, brother? Prophet Noble Drew Ali taught it first. Oh man, you got to turn.
You hear me, Miles?
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely, brother. So what I did was I brought you in here because I noticed that you always jump on Ben X live feed. And brother, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? You might have to turn your whatever, if you're listening to us, you might have to turn it down. You follow me?
Yeah. I'm doing that right now, more.
No, it wasn't for Rod, Big Don. And I'll show you that in a minute, brother. I'll show you where Prophet Noble Drew Ali teaches that first. But Prophet Noble Drew Ali was the first of it all. He was the first of it all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, brother, introduce yourself. And I want you to tell me, give us an outline of the conversation that you had with Ben X the first time around, and then you made a comment today. You know what I mean? And I wanted to ask you, what is the conflict between not maybe Ben X, but the Nation of Islam and your perception as it relates to Moorish science, history, or whatever, brother. But introduce yourself first.
Islam. First, I'd like to rise and give all praises to the great God of the universe, Father God Allah, and this illustrious prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and this forerunner, Marcus Messiah Garvey. Also, I'd like to honor you, Grand Sheik, and also Grand Sheik D. Jackson L. for y'all leadership, for the true movement of the Moorish movement, the noble temples, and we will prevail under the name of Noble Drew Ali, Islam.
Islam. So,
y'all go ahead. My bad, y'all. Go ahead. My bad.
So yeah. Yeah, family. I'm gonna put the link up to the raffle in a minute. I appreciate all y'all support for the raffle. I know y'all want one of these hats. I know you do. You know, I'm gonna put the link up for a minute, but I want to give the floor to my brother. So yeah, brother, give us an outline of the first conversation that you had with Ben X, and then but you ain't gotta go too hard. Just keep it brief so we can get a concept of what brings you here.
Well, family. Well, really, what it started was with the brother was on Instagram Live, and I had got on his Instagram Live, and I had said to him, "Hey, man, you should join the Moorish Science Temple of America." And then he sent me the link to come in, right? So we got to chopping it over, what have you. I can't remember every single thing that happened, but what I know is that me and him was talking about names. And then I had asked the brother, what did the name X mean? And then he said the name meant unknown. And then he had asked me, what did the name Bay mean? He asked me what my name Bay mean. I told him it meant ruler or conqueror, something of that nature. And then he had asked me, well, what are you the ruler of? And when he asked me that question, that kind of paused me, because I was like, well, what kind of little snaky kind of little question was that, man? Like, what do you mean I'm the ruler of, man? You in the Nation of Islam, first of all, you're supposed to have knowledge of self. You already know that the great Moors ruled Europe and Spain for 700 years or better. We taught the European how to bathe. We gave the European science. The only reason why the European, and I'm not being disrespectful, the only reason why the European is even walking around here the way that he is because of the Moors. It's because of the great Muslims. Right or wrong, Tahaka?
Absolutely. 100% correct.
So when he said that to me, I kind of got discombobulated a little bit. And and when I was speaking to him, I got kind of twisted up in my words a little bit. But as we were speaking through the dialogue, I was telling him that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was part of the Moorish Divine National Movement. And then when I wanted to prove my source, I had grabbed the theology of time. And then I had, matter of fact, here it is right here. And when I read the piece to him, there was a word in there that I didn't, I didn't know what it meant, but it was here it is right here. One such fabrication that has mistaken on a life of its own is the notion that Elijah Muhammad was a former student member of Noble Drew Ali's Moorish Science Movement or Marcus Garvey's United Negro Improvement Associations. So, and then on the next sentence it says, in both of these instances, the assertion is completely false, right? So I guess when I had said that little piece, I think the word fabricate, I think he asked me what the word fabrication means or something like that. And I think the word meant it wasn't true or something like that. So, he kind of took off with that. And
you know, he kind of, you know, he didn't make, and then he took that little piece that I was just wrong about, and then he took that and posted it on his YouTube. I think the day later, or it was that next morning or something like that. Right. But then I was saying, man, like, hold on right quick, man. Like, you gonna sit there and just show that little trinket or whatever, you know? How come you didn't show the part where I was showing my plaques and all that? What I was showing my honor roll awards, man. You know what I'm saying? I was showing my accomplishments and what I've ever accomplished as a Muslim with my Moorish name on there. You know what I'm talking about? I'm like, man, if you're gonna be real, shawty, you need to play the whole thing. Don't just sit there and just play a little 4-minute intricate of me, you know, being twisted up in my words, man, so you could use it and then try to frame it like a brother in the Moorish Temple of America is discombobulated and can't prove anything or something like that, man. To me, that was wicked. That was stupid. And I think a black devil would have did something like that. That's how I felt. That's why I've been trolling like the way I have, because real talk, if I would have saint them, you know what I'm talking about? I would have been like, man, you know in the South, man, you know, you keep me going around doing that little hoe stuff, man. In the South, we say that's hoe-ish. You already know in the South what we say that's hoe.
Keep it clean though, bro. Keep it clean.
No, I'm not cursing or nothing like that. OG, I'm Grand Sheik. You know what I'm talking about? I'm kind of like I'm a front line. I'm a front line in the Moorish Temple of America, man. Real talk.
All right, so let me say this. Let me say this. It's very clear. It's very clear that Elijah Muhammad was, without a doubt, affiliated with the Moorish Temple of America in some way, shape, or form. It's very clear. Now, it really doesn't make a difference whether one actually admit to it, but the evidence point to it. And so when we look at the evidence, and we see that the first person, let's look at the evidence real quick. The first person to organize people around wearing fezzes was Prophet Noble Drew Ali, organizing our people around wearing fezzes. The second one was who? Elijah Muhammad. Right? That's one point, right? Now, another point is, as we like to say, pictures give 1,000 words. Pictures, whatever, say 1,000 words. When we look at small things like this, just little small, simple things like this, do you think this thumbnail sketch of the messenger is a happenstance that it matches the divine constitution and bylaws? Do you think is that original? Is that original? No, it's not. So it's very clear that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali influenced Elijah Muhammad. It's very clear. We have the fairs. We have the similarities in this. And then when you even look at this little research, I know brothers say, oh, he's pulling out an article. When you're looking at it right here, yeah, because these were people reported on. When you look at this right here, this article right here, where somebody is interviewing the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and they asked him, what is he reading? Basically, what are they reading? And they say the typical propaganda are the extracts from a specially written Quran furnished to the members. Who were Adam and Eve? They are the mothers and fathers of the human family, Asiatic and Muslim. But let's go up a little bit. You know, Muhammad, everybody know that his name was Muhammad, right? Everybody knew that. You follow me? Everybody knew in the Nation of Islam that Elijah Muhammad, they would call him Muhammad. Ask anybody in the Nation of Islam. They say at 6026 South Vernon Avenue, Prophet of Allah, Temple of Islam. You hear that? 6026 Vernon Avenue. Look at this right here and tell me where this is at. Isn't this Vernon Avenue? The Moorish Holy Temple of Science, 3966. So the point that I'm making is the first, it's nothing, this is just history. The Moorish Science Temple of America the Moorish Temple of America, one of the greatest temples and the biggest temples was in Detroit. Is it strange? You know what I mean? Is it strange that Master Farad Muhammad, as well as Elijah Muhammad, started in Detroit? They had more members in Detroit than anywhere. The second temple was in Chicago. The second largest Moorish concentration was where? Chicago. First. And it's a lot more to this history that I'm going to be digging up. But what I'm telling you is that regardless if anybody wants to admit it, the research is here now. So for you, brother, that's not for you to get angry or upset with or anything like that. But let's let the history tell the story. You follow me? Let's let the history tell the story. So last but not least, who was the first one to describe a place of worship for Islam, a temple? Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the Moorish Science Temple of America. They follow up with the Temple of Islam. There's nowhere in history where you can find somebody describing a house of worship as a temple as it relates to Islam, except for who? Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So the thing is, Prophet Noble Drew Ali is the originator. And with all due respect, brother, no need to get angry and no disrespect. Everything else is an adaptation of the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. It's just an adaptation. Now, there's more to it and more verifying history. Just like I showed you that address, I can show you many more addresses. You follow me? I can show you many more addresses that verify exactly what I'm saying. Matter of fact, last but not least, and I hand the mic over to you, brother. Last but not least, where they had the second annual convention at the Pantheon Temple in Chicago is the same place, one of the first places that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had his meetings. Now, you mean tell me he was not affiliated with the Moorish Science Temple of America? Oh, if somebody in here saying watered down, come on. You want the link, brother man? Come on the show. And let me give you some more stuff. You want some more? Huh? Brother man, do you want the link? If you want the link, you can come on here and ask me any question.
If you're scared, go to church, man.
Yeah. If you can come on here and ask me any question, and I will pile up. I will pile up the proof that no one can deny. I will pile it up. You know, I am a serious researcher when it comes to verifying the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I get loud. I play music and all of that. But okay, there we go. He wants the link. What's your email, brother? Go ahead, brother Ikramula. The floor is yours, brother. Put your email in the chat, brother, man.
Yeah, it's long. Yeah, it's long, Muslim. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's right, more. And you know what? See, that was my point. He also didn't show that what he also didn't show was that I was showed a picture of Elijah Muhammad with the fez with the star and the crescent on it. Because remember, the first council of the Nation of Islam, I think it was the first secretary, something like that. If I'm not mistaken, they wore fezzes.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
They wore them little fezzes. And so, I mean, and then they had a picture of Fard Muhammad up there instead of Noble Drew Ali. It's like, man, it's like it's obvious, man, that it's something else going on in the background.
Well, I think a real comprehensive history have to be given up. You know, my thing is this. I have nothing against the Nation of Islam. Matter of fact, I got a lot of brothers, family, et cetera, that are members of the Nation of Islam. However, what I do have a problem with is that no one acknowledged Prophet Noble Drew Ali all of these years. No one gave him props until we got into the social media era. No one. I mean, no one. Now, all of a sudden, we are in the social media era and we are in the information era. And now everybody want to give some honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. But nah. We need to make sure that he's being represented the way he brought the teachings. Don't just give us honor now that we are in the information. Now we got information, and now we have concrete proof. Now everybody want to give honor, and we accept it. But in 1980, Prophet Noble Drew Ali was swept under the rug. Throughout the 90s, he was swept under the rug. Everybody was in denial. But now, we in the information age. We in the great researchers age. Now you can't run from it. So you have to give honor now because you compromised. You have to. But that ain't gonna stop history from telling the truth. That won't stop history from telling the truth. You follow me? And so my thing to you, brother, is when you go on and you talk to a brother Ben X, you know, it's all good, brother. Just be respectful so the brother can hear you. You know what I mean? I think, you know, we get too worked up sometimes. You know what I mean? I do too, brother. I do too. You know what I mean? I'm working on it, brother. But we get so worked up sometimes that people can't hear us, you know. But my thing is this, Ikramula. My thing is that, and I yield the floor to anybody else who want the floor, and anybody can come on, put your email in here, and I send you the link. My thing is this: I am convinced beyond a shadow of a doubt, 1,000% convinced that Prophet Noble Drew Ali is a prophet of God in the same vein that Muhammad was, in the same vein that Jesus was, in the same vein that anybody else believed in a prophet. And to act as if Prophet Noble Drew Ali did not start it all, and to minimize him as a great man, as opposed to a legitimate founder for the redemption of our people on these shores, is a tragedy. It's a tragedy because this is a divine prophet here. We're saying that this prophet was sent by God. That's what we're saying. We're saying that God sent him to deliver us. That he is the liberator by the universe. The universe seen a problem and the universe fixed it by sending us a guide. Right? And now they sweep it under the rug and act like he didn't exist. Act like he didn't exist. And the only reason many people acknowledge Prophet Noble Drew Ali now is because we're in the information age. It's going to come out.
Yeah. You ain't got no choice.
It's going to come out. And I'm going to get this brother on, brother. Brother Jackson there, Sheik. Brother Sheik Jackson there, you want the floor for a minute? Let me send this brother this email.
Islam. Grand Sheik on the Nation of Islam. I really can't speak on that. I don't really know the history.
Yeah, we not ragging on the Nation of Islam though, brother. This, you know what I mean, we just go have a bill. That's all.
Islam.
You nervous? Hey, I'm gonna get you some Sheik juice around here. We got Sheik juice. Sister Robin, bring some Sheik juice down here.
Sheik juice.
Yeah, Islam. It's Islam.
I'm playing, brother. but yeah, brother. Anything you want to add?
Who, me?
To the conversation?
Yeah, Brother Jackson now.
Well, I mean, you know, I wholeheartedly believe that the prophet was an angel and a prophet of God, you know. So, and one thing I was thinking about when you saying what you were saying was that in the Bible, like I said, I don't have that much background in the Nation of Islam, but I did study the Bible a lot. And I noticed that all the prophets, starting with Moses, they was bringing the people up out of something. They took an exodus, you know, they used Egypt or whatever, but he was leading his people up out of something to worship under their own vine fig tree. In the book of Esther, Esther did the same thing. Jesus, you know what I'm saying? He was going against the Roman Empire. You know what I'm saying? So the prophet came and brought us nationality. No other figure in the history of America has done that for our people, but Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So I believe that he deserves the respect, you know what I'm saying, as a prophet to our people. You know, all nations have suffered slavery due to sin and disobedience. And every nation has been sent a prophet that speaks in the language that they dream in. And that prophet in these days and times is Noble Drew Ali. Point, period, blank, straight up, flat out.
Flat out. It's point blank period, man. You know, and it's obvious because, you know, remember, like, if you're dealing with, because, you know, I know a little bit of not too much, but I remember when, I think it was in a documentary I was watching in the Nation of Islam, and they always talked about how Elijah Muhammad, remember I said how Elijah was running for 7 years? I think he ran to the East Coast, and I'm not, you know, not trying to, but I think he had ran from the East Coast, fleeing from the, I think they said the hypocrites and the others. He ended up in DC or something like that. Well, I mean, I think Tahaka had mentioned, man, that was the Moors that was trying to you know,
absolutely
the Moors trying to.
But Elijah Muhammad tell you that himself. He tell you himself that he went to these Moor temples and they ran him out. He tells you that himself.
Oh yeah. Well, so what? You know what? What's the source on that? My bad. I mean, I ain't never seen that. Come on, let's do it, man.
Nah, we gonna save that.
Oh man,
he's saving that for book. He's saving that for book.
I definitely got the source, brother. Brother, let me tell you something. I give it to you $1, brother. I got the source for everything that I say.
Islam.
I got the source for everything I say. This is like everything I say. You know what I mean? I got the source for everything I say.
That's the picture right there. That's what the picture I was talking about.
Now let me tell you something, brother. There is no one that I don't think you're gonna find too many people like me. If I say something, I'm going to back it up. Period, point blank. Now, my thing is, I don't want to, as I said on Ben X show today, I don't want to give a demonstration as if I'm being condescending or turning, you know, an aggressive approach to my brothers in the Nation of Islam, because that's not what I'm about. But in that same vein, history must be told.
That's right.
It will repeat. It will repeat. Therefore, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, without a doubt. Now let me get to this. I got another brother coming in. I sent him the link to his email, but let me answer this brother. This brother said, well, how is it? Well, how is it that the Masons had the fans in 1893 and the Moors started in 1913? Well, brother, my brother Onyx, let me explain something to you. The Moors do predate 1913. The Prophet organized us, you know, coming together, the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America in 1913. Do you follow what I'm saying? But the term fairs itself is a North African term. It's a North African term. So a European Mason walking around with a North African term is the first guide of your search. Why is this Mason wearing something that is North African? You follow me? Why is he wearing something North African? That's the first thing. Now, from that, you can also move on and find out that it's ours. It was ours from the beginning. You know what I mean? Just because Eminem can rap, he's just a guest in the house of rap, in the house of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's ours, brother. You know, the European chose. See, let me explain that. One thing you need to understand is that we as a group of people have always been the dominant people on the face of the earth. Always been the dominant people on the face of the earth. And those that don't understand that need to understand what the feds represents. The feds represents that nobility. The feds represents that dominance. The feds represents that wisdom. And so when the European removed us out of power for our stupidity, running around chasing trinkets and dumb stuff that didn't mean nothing to us, when we was removed out of power, he put our headdress on. So when you ask somebody, the Masons, the secret society run America, what they did was they took our holy fez and put it on their head, and they tried to represent the wisdom that we have always had. And now, the sad part about it, you even have us making fun about the fez. I mean, you have us making fun about the fez. And so this one say the fez is for students, not masters. Wrong.
Where do you get that from? Ask me where you get that from.
You're making it up. Where's the source? Let me tell you something. I can give you a
Didn't
source.
I tell you that?
Yeah, they making it up. They're making it up. There is no source for that. You follow what I'm saying? There is no source for that. And I know that for a fact. There is no source for that. So, you know, when people do that, man, it don't bother me, because my thing is, show me the source. Show me the source. That's one thing with me. And I would encourage you, Ikramula, as well as Sheik Jackson L, and anybody else that represents the Moorish Science Temple of America. Always bring proof. So when they start talking that stuff, now look, Xville Bay said that's why they wear it for school graduation. No, the cap and gown is an adaptation of the fez. It's not the fez. It's an adaptation. Like, come on now. It's an adaptation of the fez, family. That's not the fez.
It's ceremonial.
Hey, who bringing up Brother Ben's name? Brother Ben,
I brought up Ben name.
All right, Brother Ben, he ain't bringing up your name no more, Brother Ben.
Brought up.
Leave Brother Ben alone. That's my brother. But I'm saying,
Brother Ben, he corrected his narrative earlier.
Man, Brother Ben did a wonderful job earlier. He did a wonderful job. But now what I want to get to before we close out, though, is I want to explain, as I did on Brother Ben's presentation, the difference between a Moor and a Moorish American Muslim. And that way, we'll have it on the record. I mean,
yeah.
So I want to show the difference. Now, I sent the email to those who wanted the email. So let me show you real quick while they come on. If they come on, they're going to have to wait. So y'all work with me real quick. So first of all, I hope Ben can watch this real quick as I fly through this real quick. Yeah, I need my brother Ben to watch, because he's a YouTuber and he's a podcaster, and he commands an audience. And we don't want these weirdos coming on anybody's channel representing the Moorish Science Temple of America.
I thought Ben this was a rapper, man.
No. Hold up. So I had to so let me finish. What we need to do is we need to put it. Hold up, Iqbal. Let me finish, bro. What we need to do is we need to finally put it on the record. We need to finally put it on the record that there is a difference. First of all, the first difference is The first difference is you gotta send me the email. Put your email in the chat, brother. Put your email in the chat. But listen, the first difference is this. A Moorish American Muslim. Are y'all with me? A Moorish American Muslim and a true follower of Prophet Noble Drew Ali do their best to do what the Prophet instructed. Period, point blank. Of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. You follow me? Somebody tonight. They do their best to follow what the Prophet subscribes us to do. That's number one. All right. Now, one of the prerequisites to being a follower of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, you must study the Quran, the questionnaire, and the Constitution and bylaw as handed down to you. Those are the words of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. You must study the Quran. You must study the questionnaire as handed down to you by the Prophet. That's number one. I mean, so the brother, hold up. Can you do a show in the near future regarding Prince Hall Masonry and the ancient Egyptian order? Absolutely, I can.
Yeah, that's
light work. Absolutely. But let me finish what I'm saying, because I want to lay out the difference of a Moorish American Muslim. One of the things that the Moorish American Muslim subscribe to is the divine Constitution and bylaw. This is the holy grail of the Moorish Science Temple of America. If I will, one of the holy grails of the Moorish Science Temple of America. So when someone says they follow the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, ask them, do they subscribe to the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science? I mean, to the Moorish Science Temple of America, divine Constitution and bylaw. Ask them that, because if they do, there is a rank and file. This is why when people say, "Oh, Tahaka violate Act 3," like, what are you talking about? Act 3, it says, we not falsely accuse his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister because Allah is love. Now, random Moors be saying this, but they forget Act 1. Act 1 says, the Grand Sheikh and the chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the grand body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. In other words, there's a rank and file, there's a structure, and it's an organization. If you're not a part of the organization, and I'm not a part of your organization, this don't apply to me from you, and it doesn't apply to you from me. Unless we got some type of brotherhood going on, like a brother in Temple number 11 says to me, brother, you might be violating Act 3. I'm going to take it in consideration. My brother Prathael from Baltimore, he calls me all the time, brother, and talk to me and said, brother, you sure about that? I'm going to take advice from brother Prathael. I'm not talking about the Supreme Grand Sheikh Prathael. I'm talking about his son. I'm going to take advice from him. I don't care what temple he's a part of. I know that he's an upstanding Moor. I know that he subscribes to the divine Constitution and bylaw. So Prathael, he can hold me accountable to Act 3. But if you ain't in anybody that's in a temple, I don't care if you are with Braswell Bay. I don't care if you are with Keith Dan Javel, formerly Baliel, Kenyu, Prathael, Rasadiel. I don't care how much we bump is. If I know that you open your meetings according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and you tell me that I'm violating the divine Constitution and bylaws, I am going to take it into consideration. I'm going to study myself and examine myself to see if because I trust that you are opening your meetings according to the edicts of Prophet Noble. But if you're not doing that, then you can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing.
Exactly.
I'm not even tripping what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Just like if I said to Ikramula, brother, don't move like that. Don't move like that. We are in an organization. The brother going to say to me, Islam Sheikh, and if he said to me, Grand Sheikh, I don't know about that move right there, Grand Sheikh, I'm going to say, Islam, let me look at that. You know what I mean? Because that's my brother. We in an organization. But with that being said, I got a brother. I'll get back to my differentiation in a minute, but I got a brother in here right now. Brother, introduce yourself to the people. I see you came in. We got two people in. Bay Kerf. Islam, my brother. So what I want to do is, after you introduce yourself, so we don't get bogged down and filibusters, can we have time limits to talk? Because we might disagree on some stuff, and I don't want to get bogged down in filibustering.
Islam.
Okay, so let me open the floor right now to our brother Kerf, Bay Kerf, and then we'll go from there. Jackson Hill, let's get a time limit. Let's even me. I take 5 minutes myself. You know what I mean? Man, where that Flavor Flav clock you be wearing? Stop playing, Sheik.
I left it in the car. I ran up here. You hit me while I was on my way back. I ran up here. That's why I was sweating. I left my other phone in the car. I told Cincinnati that she gonna put me on the spot.
Man, because I know I can get loud, I can cut people off, and we can get passionate in there. But I want everybody to know that this is a brotherly, and if it was sisters on here, sisterly, I think we need to have more of these conversations. I encourage his debates, dialogues, and everything, but I don't encourage the cussing out, Bay Kerf talking about when I see you, I'm gonna kill you, all that old dumb stuff. Yeah, man.
Keep talking so I go get my phone.
Indeed. And so let my brother Bay Kerf introduce himself, and then we have my other brother introduce himself. Islam, brother, the floor is yours.
Islam. How are you guys?
All right, brother.
Yeah, I'm just inquiring on. I'm out of Charlotte, North Carolina, by the way of Atlanta.
That's right.
And I know my man from Seven Seal, the other guy that be with you sometimes. Well, he come on your platform sometimes from Seven Seal.
Sheik 7?
Sorry?
Talking about Sheik 7?
Sheik 7, yes, sir.
Yeah, that's my bro.
Yeah, he's a good guy, man. So, I was just really inquiring on what really happened to the noble.
Prophet Noble Drew Ali?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's a serious question, brother. Let me tell you what happened, and I'm gonna give you a snapshot.
Okay.
During the time, and I got a book coming out on this too. You know what I mean? So the Nation of Islam won't think that I'm just doing a history on one aspect of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Matter of fact, I got a lecture out called Hijacking of the Moorish Science Temple of America. But let me give you a snapshot. During the life of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, let's go to 1928 to 29. The Moorish Science Temple of America made extreme strides. In other words, Prophet Noble Drew Ali went from standing in an empty parking lot on the south side of Chicago to establishing 15 to 17 temples by 1928. And these temples was very successful financially. They was very successful financially. Majority of the temples had schools connected to them. Majority of the temples had business connected to them. They had ice businesses. They had moving businesses. They had their own newspaper, and they, as a collective, was making strides, leaps, and bounds. One of the reports that we have, that one temple in a fiscal year had an economy of $250,000. That was just one temple. That's the temple in Detroit. And so what happened is many people did not like, and even to this day, did not like the regimented and the moral code of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And Prophet Noble Drew Ali, from my studies and my research, demanded a certain ethical code, a certain moral code, and he inspired them and pushed them to be their best. But some people thought that they could do it different and do it better. They thought they could do it better. And during the lifetime of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, they plotted to remove him out of office. Office, and I use that term because many of those that was with the prophet did not see him as a prophet as we do. As I say, I see him as a prophet like Elijah. I see him as a prophet as John. I see him as a prophet as Jesus, as Muhammad. Many people didn't see that. Masonry was so strong during that time, they seen it as another form of Masonic operation. And so the prophet was no different to them in their eyes as the most worshipful master. It was a position that could be removed at any time by force or by what they would decide later on would be a vote. Not the case. Long story short, a group of Moors created a whole nother Moorish Science Temple of America while Prophet Noble Drew Ali was in the flesh. And when they sprung into action, they brother named Claude Green moved the prophet's property out of the headquarters and took it over, and he proclaimed to be the prophet of the organization, and he had infiltrated at least 5 to 6 temples while the prophet was on tour. When a few faithful Moors found this out, they brought the heat to him. In fact, the brother name was Ivor Johnson Bay. I'm sorry. He went there at headquarters, where everybody see that people standing on more standing on the steps. He went there headquarters. He shot him in the head, cut his throat, and left him for dead. That's what Ivor Johnson Bay did, because watch him out. And so that's what he did. Now, Prophet Noble Drew Ali was on a temple tours. And while he was on the temple tours, they also had a setup within the temple to remove him, a part of the whole big scheme that he had molested. They reported a guy used his daughter to say Prophet Noble Drew Ali molested his daughter. Oh yeah, we're gonna keep it a buck. This is how they was trying to take over the Moorish Science Temple of America. But they plotted that scheme. But what happened when they plotted that scheme, the killing happened. The first scheme was to remove Prophet Noble Drew Ali, was to have him accused of raping a 14-year-old. And the father put his daughter up to it, right? But when Claude Green got murdered, now when the prophet came into Chicago, they took the prophet in for murder charges, and the scheme about the rape and all of that fell to the wayside. You know what I'm saying? Although there was a deposition on that, they didn't believe it. The deposition, you know what deposition is? I mean, a statement. They didn't believe it. So he never was charged with that. But they held him in the precinct and shift them around all the precincts around Chicago. Some said that he was beaten. And most likely he was by the police. However, there's more evidence that he died of a stab wound from the rival against the guy I named earlier and the followers of Claude Green. But now it goes deeper than that. On the death certificate, one of the other infiltrators named Aaron Payne, his brother puts on the death certificate that he died of pneumonia. Now, in fact, the evidence, which will come out soon, is that he died from stab wounds. Fact. And this was done by Moors in the temple. You follow me? This was done by Moors in the temple. The infiltrators started with a European Jew that sent a brother to join the temple by the name of Claude Green. You know what I'm saying? And when he sent Claude Green in there to join, the whole mission was to take it over because it was so profitable. But they didn't take it as if it was a religious movement. They took it as it was a hustle. So it was nothing. It's nothing to try to murder somebody when you see it as a hustle, because hustlers do it all the time. They murder each other all the time. But let me say this to you, brother, in closing. One thing that I'm telling you, and I said it earlier, everything that I say, I have the documents to prove it. I have the documents to prove it. But now, let me say this. This was supposed to happen. This was supposed to happen. The reason why it was supposed to happen, because the Prophet Noble Drew Ali laid out the blueprint. And now it's this generation that is supposed to build from the blueprint. So when people ask me the question, what have the Moors done? What have the Moors done? We were waiting for our time, and our time is now. Because when the Prophet Noble Drew Ali passed form, everybody started lying. Everybody claimed to be the leader in the head. Even till this day, everybody's claiming that they are the original holders of the Prophet movement, and they all are lying. Not one is telling the truth. Not one. After the appointment of Emilio from the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the movement from the physical perspective collapsed. And it have not been put together since. We have a lot of people calling themselves the Moorish Science Temple of America, including myself. But the movement that the Prophet put together does not exist today. And so we, of the Moorish Science Temple of America style as the Noble Temples, we work to look at the orthodoxy of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and we work to put it together. Because right now, it literally doesn't exist. We have some good teachers. We have some good efforts. We have a lot of people doing the best that they can do with what they have intellectually. However, the Prophet movement does not exist. You follow what I'm saying? Not on the ground. So it was an inside thing. It was an inside thing. And many people are proselytizing and acting as if they are the legitimate heir of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali movement. But my question will always be the same. Until one produced what Prophet Noble Drew Ali produced, then we ain't tripping. We ain't tripping. And we're going to attempt to produce that, brother. So, yeah, it was an inside job, inside infiltration. But by the will of Allah, this is supposed to happen. See, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said the Moors with him didn't know what he was doing. He said it'd be 50 years before you figure out what I've done here today. And that was in October the 17th, 1928. He said, if you're not careful, it'd be 50 more years. You won't even know I was here. So there's an indication that those that was right on the Prophet didn't have a clue. They was inspired, they was motivated, and they accomplished a lot in a short time. But now we get to sit back and back off it, and we get to focus our lens and see the movement for what it is. And so the elders that used to lie to me, whether willingly or unwillingly, they can't lie to me no more. You see, the elders, whether intentional or unintentional, they told me misinformation, they can't do it no more. Because now we are in the information age. And all of this stuff is documented. You just got to know where to find it. And we found it. And so we moving on the Prophet's mission. Islam, you got me, brother?
Mhm.
And that's why I'm so passionate, brother. We need to bring it on back. We need to bring it on back. Period, point blank. I mean, with that being said, let me get my other brother in here real quick. My brother he's from the 702. Hey, bro, you been out coming here to debate me from the 702. 702 love Moorish World TV. I'm playing, brother.
Islam, brother.
Islam, brother. How you doing, brother?
I'm excellent, brother. All is well. How about you?
I'm doing good. Do we need to turn on the stop clock?
No, I mean, I'm gonna be brief. I just wanted to give my greetings to you.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, honest to you. I want to just say that I want to thank you for providing a distinction in the world, on the World Wide Web, between those who honor the Prophet and what the Prophet laid down, and being a distinction from that, as opposed to those who take what the Prophet brought and try to profit from it, mislead people, misguide people, harm people. And I want to say thank you for being that distinction. I really think that it's because of your channel that certain authority figures in the federal government know the difference between what a temple Moor is and what a rogue Moor is. I don't think anybody else I don't think anyone else really, as far as I can see, has done that great of a job as far as providing that distinction, letting them know that we do not seek to overthrow the laws of the said government, but to obey hereby, that we are upstanding, that we
talk to him, brother.
That we deal with love instead of hate. So I'm glad that you're being that. And it's very important. I can't say enough about that. So I just want to say that, and I think you know that how important it is.
Yes.
With that being said, I just want to touch on one thing, and I'm gonna come from the Circle 7, Chapter 11. Thanks to you, I got me some new Circle 7 Qurans. I ordered from Moorish World TV, so I can read from this new Circle 7 Quran, nice and clean Circle 7 Quran.
Brother, you ordered some Qurans, brother?
Yeah, you know, I got my new Circle 7 Quran from Moorish Symbol of
Praise Allah. Praise Allah.
Bay.
Praise Allah. Now let's make sure no error pop up, because I'm gonna have to send you another one right on.
Yeah, we're gonna work on that. Don't worry about it. You know, things like that happen. It happened in Barnes and Nobles. I read books. It happens. Wall Street Journal, they publish a paper, and then
you let me know.
Yeah, I saw something. I'm gonna pull your code, but look, that's why they had corrections. You know, when you put out the next edition, then you have the corrections. It's no problem.
Absolutely.
We make mistakes, we learn from them. So it says, now, when the ether reached the rate of atmosphere, and all the creatures of these planes. This is chapter 11, verse 32. Now, when the ether reached the rate of atmosphere, and all the creatures of these planes must get their food from atmosphere, the conflict came, and that which the finite man called survival of the best became the law. The stronger ate the bodies of the weaker manifest, and here is where the carnal law of evolution had its rise. And now man, in his utter shamelessness, strikes down and eats the beast, and the beast consumes the plant thrives on the earth absorbs the protoplasm. So I want to say that what we are dealing with, an issue is with our people is they got to be clean first. Purity paves the way for love. John the Baptist was the harbinger. He represented and embodied purity, a right symbolic. So we got to see that our people are drinking more water, eating fruits and vegetables, detoxing, getting off of the flesh. Because as long as those things are being consumed, we can't live on a higher, we can't exist with a higher vibration. And if you look, you'll find that most of these Moors that's out here misleading people, they don't have a good diet. They're not clean. They're not being clean. They're not living clean. They don't have clean abodes. So I'm in this process. I'm not speaking from somebody who's saying I'm clean and I got it all together, but you know, I've been off the meats for some years. I've been off the sugars for some years. I've been off the alcohol for years. I've been off a lot of these things for years. And I notice there's a big difference between how I see what the prophet brought when I first proclaimed my nationality 20 years ago, 2001, versus now, I see even clearer what the prophet has brought us. I hear even clearer. So it's going to take that purity to pave the way for love. We can't really love each other without being clean. So I just want to say that, and I guess I'll just end on that more. You know, we need to purify. We need to get clean. On that, I'm gonna say peace.
Peace, brother. I appreciate you, brother. And that's a 100% fact, brother. And I'm gonna tell you, somebody said on a live stream with Ben X, they said, well, Ta'aka been in the Moorish Science Temple of America for 30 years. And look it up. Man, I was misguided too. You ain't saying up slick. I was misguided too. Until I broke away and begin to, as my brother just said, clean myself up, you know, clean my mind up, clean my heart up. Only then was I able to receive something deeper than what I was reading and studying. Only then, you see. And as the brother mentioned, John the Harbinger, it said John was the one in the wilderness. He was blowing the trumpet. They were so mad at John stirring up the people, they wanted to kill him. And so what we do on social media is the John and Jesus degree. We're going to stir it up a little bit. You're going to get a little bit frustrated, but hopefully you like, man, hold up. Let me calm down and listen for a second. Right. And you're walking through a temple door, and then you receive that love made manifest through a true Grand Sheik or whatever portion of the Moorish Science Temple of America you're in. Hopefully that's what you will find. But you suppose, if I sit up here and tell you that, listen to this. Prophet Noble Drew Ali did not do what you're talking about, whether you in or outside the temple. And you have an elder that has told you that. Yes, all right, let me break this down. For example, somebody say to me, Brother Ta'aka Bey, what authority do you have? You know, we hear this argument all the time. What authority do you have? And in my wittiness, I come back and say, most likely I have more authority than you. But let's go authority for authority. At that point, the conversation going to stop because they really don't want to go authority for authority. So now it's a teaching moment, ATM. Now I'm going to ask everybody who asked me about my charter, show me your charter with the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's signature, and I stand down. If you can't show me a charter with Prophet Noble Drew Ali's signature, then don't ask me about my authority. Show me one of them. Because the thing is that Prophet Noble Drew Ali is the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America. I'm not claiming that it's been passed down to me. Everybody else is. Well, if it is, show me. See, the Constitution of the United States, they have it preserved. And guess who got access to it? Donald Trump. So if you claim to be the original and the authority on the matter, then you're going to have to produce that. And I'll respect that if it's not stolen. Then it can't be stolen. You follow what I'm saying? It can't be stolen. If it's stolen, we have to leave that alone. You know what I mean? So brother, the back of, somebody says in the chat, the back of the 101s gives authority. In fact, it really doesn't give authority. It's our authority as it relates to what the prophet put on the ground. Now, all we got to do, yes, it does give us authority in this sense, Carlo Rossi. All we got to do is exemplify it. Many people show it as if it's a magic wand, but they don't demonstrate it. You have to demonstrate it, but you're right and exact. And so let me get with Xavier L. Bay, and then I get my next guest in. You know what I mean? Somebody said Temple has charters. Absolutely, they have charters. Charters is no different than we are a religious corporation. We are a religious corporation. Yeah.
Technically, it was handed down to you, grandson.
Baltimore City has a charter. Every city you live in has a charter. Every city.
Islam. Muslim, let me say this too. The prophet said to follow the leader if he lives his life according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
Absolutely, brother.
And as far as I can see, you are a man of truth. Because if you find an error, you say, hey, I'm just going to present the error to you. Let me just present the information to you. This is falsehood. This is truth. You're about love, because you always, even if you're in a disagreement with the brothers, you still say, this is my brother and I love him. You see what I'm saying? So you're living the life.
What's
now,
funny?
You got brothers out here lying. You got brothers and sisters out here lying about the prophet. That's not truthful. You got brothers and sisters out here hating on each other. That's not love. So we can just say, okay, who's living the life according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice? Because that's what the prophet said. If. Because that's the real authority. It's who's going to live their life like that, because I can only demand the best from you if I'm demanding the best out of myself. If ain't no contradiction in how I'm moving, then people are going to recognize that. They're going to feel that. They're going to sense that. The children will know that. Others will know that. So that's why I say you are the representative of what a true, what faithful and true looks like. Well, now I'm going to say peace.
Islam, my brother. So, brother Jackson L, it's my brother Jackson L birthday, Sheik Jackson L birthday today. Look at him smile. That's the birthday smile. That's the born day smile. So, bro, I don't want to hold you if you know what I mean. If you getting out of here, or you ain't on West Coast time, you're on East Coast time. You good? What you gonna do?
I'm gonna stay on. I'm gonna ride it out.
You going to the club?
Technically, it was handed down to you through the heritage of the law.
Oh, absolutely. And now let me explain what I was saying about you absolutely right. But what I'm saying is that when people try to make up that there was a convention from 1928 and then a convention from 1929, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, all the way up to 2019, and that somebody passed the torch to each and every person, is a flat out lie. They get mad when I say that. But listen, Prophet Noble Drew Ali says this is a holy and divine movement. So in order to receive the benefits, you cannot ride the narrative of a lie. You cannot ride the narrative of a lie within the construct of the Moorish Science Temple of America if you want the benefits that comes out of the Moorish Science Temple of America. There is no one, and I said no one that can show an unbreakable connection to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali by paperwork, by appointment, or no other way. And I say no one. No one. That's a heavy statement. And I stand by it. This is what they don't like. But if you love truth, then you would say, the brother right. Now, how can we correct this so we can move on a divine path? Do people really want to move on a divine path? Do people really want to move on a divine path? Well, if one wants to move on a divine path, they have to correct the errors of the past. Don't correct the errors of the past. Don't acknowledge them of the past. This is not the movement you call the Moorish Science Temple of America is not a holy and divine movement. You're just calling it that. But when you make up a scenario, and you stand by that lie, through the thick and through the thin, you stand by that lie, you're doing a grave you're making a grave decision, because now people coming in and they coming in under the premise that what you're saying is factual, and what you're saying have some saving power because you are the direct connect to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. That's that Jesus degree. The direct connect to Prophet Noble Drew Ali is a man's words or a woman's words, action, and deeds. Show me Prophet Noble Drew Ali in you. Show me that in you. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali makes a statement that faithful Moors, and I'm paraphrasing, will defend this with their very life. But I stand up and say on social media that we are going to maintain the orthodoxy of Moorish science, the orthodoxy of Islamism. And now I'm the bad guy. And I'm not going to take somebody talking slick. I'm not going to take somebody taking shots. You take a shot, I'm taking a shot. And Moors are not used to that. You know what Moors are used to? Let me say this before I open the floor to my brother E. You know what Moors are used to? Somebody take a shot at a Moor. You know what Moors are used to? See, I ain't going to cuss you out. I'm going to do my best. Unless you threaten me, you know what I mean? I ain't going to threaten you. You know what I mean? I'm going to go ahead and take that. I'm going to do my best to educate you. I'm going to be hyper with it and all that. But you know what Moors are used to? Somebody say something crazy to a Moor. Moor means black. And Moors enslave black people. They slave all black people. You know what Moors do? Brother, you have a total misunderstanding. Brother, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali says that we are the civilizers. Man, I'm not going for that. After you done literally cuss me out without words. I ain't going out like that. As I told Brother Saneter when I first met Saneter, brother, we're not going to intellectualize disrespect. We're not going to do it. I said this to his face on 125th. We're not going to intellectualize disrespect. You can have your opinion. You can have your facts. You can have all that you have, but we're going to keep it in a respectable place. Because I just disagree with you. I don't hate you. I don't dislike you. I ain't got to live with you. I just have a disagreement with you. And most Moors, I have a disagreement with the philosophical approach to Moorish science as being taught, as was taught by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I don't hate you. Let me show you this before I bring E in. You can tell I don't dislike Moors because on Ben X show today and on here, I say, if you want to find a responsible Moorish science temple of America, go to check out. I say, if you are under Braswell Bay, if you are under Ras Adiel, if you are under Prete, I named all of them. And I say, they open their meetings like me. So I have nothing against them as it relates to the doctrine in which we say that we follow. Now, I may have a problem with innovations, but that's just a doctrine difference. I have no problem with nobody personally. And I go hard. I go hard. Yeah. I tell the truth and I go hard with the truth. So a lot of people get mad about it, but that's all now. That's all now. With that, let me bring my brother E in. You got E on the screen. Are you there, brother?
What's going on, Islam, brother?
Islam.
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you well, brother. I can hear you well.
Perfect.
Where you calling from, brother?
I'm calling from Virginia.
Uh-oh, VA. Hey, brother. Let me tell you, you need to go get that Neptune, brother, to take that old funny jacket off. Who that, brother? You ain't over there? We need to get Pharrell right, man. Pharrell need to get back to the Neptune style. We need to get him right. I'm upset with Pharrell. He tripping.
He gonna get it right.
All right. I trust and believe he gonna get right.
Come on, bro. Right. You know how we do.
What's up, big bro?
You already know, Taco. What's going on with you, man? I've been following up with y'all. Earlier today, I was on the Brother X live feed also, so that's why I was trying to get in touch with you.
Right. What you thought about the live earlier?
I mean, the brother, he ain't come off wrong at all. He was just trying to get everything, informed and whatnot, trying to get everybody situated on the position of the Moors. So, me myself, I was just, sharing it to the group of Moors who actually talk about it every day on Facebook to actually, make sure everything that's being said is being presented right on behalf of the prophet.
Right. Hey, brother, do you understand where I'm coming from in the passion that I display? Do you get it?
Definitely. Look, everybody have a passion of even what's going on for the awakening. So even with that, like all energies is being put in right now, we gotta kind of stop looking at that and looking at the bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? But whatever you doing energy wise, you ain't at fault. It's just how people take it.
My thing is this, brother. My thing is this. When people start quoting the Prophet Noble Drew Ali and they try to associate it with right to travel, they can't prove that. They can't prove and associate that with Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Just say that you want a right to travel and it's your thing. Don't associate that with Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
You're right.
Just go do it.
And you correct. You definitely right. I do want to build on that. For that fact, for that reason, before I say anything, I'm just going off of my research and what I've, and taking in. So correct me if I'm wrong. This is just my opinion.
Right.
So when Moors talk about that, and this is what I was saying about the temple Moors and the so-called who they call people like us internet Moors or the outside Moors, but the difference of the division of that is when the prophet was talking about claiming your nationality, and the first rule and the first thing that's always presented whenever you read that, even in the divine warning, is that enforce the Constitution. So when it comes to right of travel, when it comes to no license, when it comes to dealing with commercial paper that's not really money, that can only be gold and silver, technically, who's ever saying that it's still right, even if they mention a prophet or not, it's still right by law, because as Moors, we only deal with law. So even if they bring up the prophet's supreme rule was enforce the Constitution. Dealing with that, that's the law of the land, supreme law. We can call that God or another word, divine. The bottom line is whatever those who we call internet Moors or the outside Moors that's not in the temples, they gonna have an opposite to it, because the temple Moors are more closer, because that's where the prophet started. We can all agree with that. But like the prophet said, I need more genius citizens, because if I tell you everything, you'll go back to sleep. So he's demonstrating that there's more to be done and there's more hidden, because like you said, during the time of the Mason of the big rise, when the Moors came into play, when the prophet came into play, it was kind of like a voodoo thing, like dealing with hidden sorcery and whatnot. So our people wasn't familiar with it because they've been taught to be scared of it. But dealing with themselves, the movement, the temple Moors, and what the prophet left, it still goes hand to hand on what anybody's saying, from what you're saying, from what Ty's saying, from what anybody is saying on the internet, because dealing with the supreme law, they can only be public servants. So dealing with the nationality part of it, that puts us in the supreme level to authorize or to enforce that Constitution. That's what the prophet did. So it's kind of like, when I say this, sorry for running my mouth, it's kind of like dealing with the temple, dealing with the Constitution, a charter, if I'm not correct, dealing with the Constitution is a charter. Does a charter has to be in play? Does the Constitution mention a charter? That's a question I'm asking.
Let me say this first. So many people, I see that they take enforcing the Constitution out of context with all respect. But, a lot of people hear Taj Tariq say that, and they just keep quoting it. I'm not saying that you're one, but a lot of people just keep quoting it. But in context, it doesn't mean what Taj is talking about. What Taj is saying is not what this is saying. Let me pull it up real quick. Listen to what this said, and listen with an open mind for a second. It says, this is what it says. This is the prophet words. He says, first he starts talking about, listen to this. Let's go in all context, man. We're going to teach tonight. It says the citizens of all free national governments, according to their national constitution, are all of one family bearing one free national name. So now the question begs to ask, I read this stuff slow, and I teach people in the temple to read a sentence, stop and think about it for a minute. So the citizens of all free national governments, according to their national constitution, what free national government are we a part of today? That's the question. You follow me? Because
right.
that's what we have to ask ourselves. Is there a free national government called the Moorish free national government? Is there a government that is governing us under Moorish right now, or when the prophet wrote this? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Figuratively.
So that's one question. That's one question. Is the prophet talking from enforcing the movement from a temple, or enforcing it through declaring it as a self thing?
Let me go down just a little bit more. So the prophet Noble Drew Ali says, I, the prophet, was prepared by the great God to warn my people and to repent from their sinful ways and go back to the state of mind of their forefathers, divine and national principles, that they will be law abiders and receive their divine rights as citizens. Remember, he's talking to us in America, as well as universally, if you are part of a free national government, to see our divine rights as citizens. Now listen, this is the key. According to the free national constitution that was prepared for all free national beings, they are to claim their free national name and religion. Enforcing the constitution is being indicative to forcing our people to get in line with the national laws, the national constitution. And what is that the prophet Noble Drew Ali says? They are to claim their free national name and religion. There is but one issue for them to be recognized by this government and of the earth, and it comes through your connection to the Moorish National and Divine Movement, which is incorporated in this government. He's talking about the United States government.
All right.
He's saying it's incorporated in this government and recognized by all other governments, all nations of the world. And through it, they and their children can receive their divine rights unmolested by other citizens, that they can cast a free national ballot. What is a national ballot? That is the presidential debate. The national ballot, every other ballot is local. That they can cast a free national ballot at the polls under the free national constitution of what? Of the United States, of the state's government. Meaning that you go to the state's government to pass your national ballot. Ain't that what we do? Wherever they put a poll at? And not under a granted privilege that has been existing condition for many generations. Now, last but not least, where we talk about enforce. It says that the wealth, here we go, family, the wealth of all national governments, gold and silver and commerce, belongs to the citizens alone. And without your national citizenship, by name and principle, you have no true wealth. In other words, everything that belongs to the United States, in order for you to have access to it, you must line up with the constitutional fold. And lastly, it says, and I hereby am calling on all true citizens that stand for free national government and the enforcement of the Constitution to help me in my great missionary work. In other words, compel my people to respond and answer up to their free national name. Compel them to do that. That's what this is talking about. And so when Taj Tariq said enforcing the Constitution, he used that and related to everything. In fact, where the prophet uses this terminology is really telling the people to compel our people to stop calling themselves slave labels. If it's the Constitution, man, we need help. Stop. Allow our people to understand that these are slave labels. And that's enforcing of the Constitution. But you have to read the whole thing, and then you'll see the Prophet Noble Drew Ali is not detaching himself from the United States government. Now, people might say, oh, that's a sellout audit. But guess what? People follow these laws by default anyway. If they don't like it, they can expatriate. They ain't doing that.
But you're right on that. But even knowing that much, I'm guessing the prophet also knew, you know, with dealing with the setup of the government, with the Constitution, it was dealing with the United States can only be a service corporation.
But guess what? The Prophet Noble Drew Ali set up a religious corporation. Now that's the key. That's the key. The key is not to demonize any type of corporation. The key,
right? Nothing's bad about corporation.
Yeah, the key is to learn how to move within a corporation. That's the key. So when people keep saying the United States is a corporation, okay, now what? What do you mean?
Right.
So what?
All right.
The Moorish Temple of America is a religious corporation. Now what? See, the key is making a connection. Why are we a religious corporation? Why? Because you know why we a religious corporation? Because corporations can sue corporations. I'll leave that I'll leave that to hang in the air. Do you understand what I'm saying?
And it protects the wealth of the true government.
Brother, we teach true civics. You know what I'm saying? We teach the Prophet Noble Drew Ali civics in the Noble Temples, brother. This stuff that people been calling civics, brother, the only thing they doing is quoting laws from 1865. But what we do, the true science of the Moorish Science Temple of America, is moving within the respect of the knowledge of Prophet Noble Drew Ali and the science of the Moorish Science Temple of America in today's world that is going to bear fruit for today's people, period. Period. We should be moving today to bear fruit in the name of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali and the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's what we should be doing. If for instance, brother, I consider all my brothers on this panel intelligent. If you were sent to a hospital and a doctor was ready to operate on you, and you find out that this doctor has been a doctor for the last 20 years, and every year of that 20, he lost a patient, I don't think you would let that doctor operate on you.
No.
When you, no matter how good he talk, you're not going to let him operate on you.
No, sir.
Brother, we like Taj Tariq Bey. Love him. Name one accomplishment. Just one. He talk good, but just one. Prophet Noble Drew Ali teaches us, if a man know, he must be what he know. So if you know all of this, why it haven't bared any fruit? Why? If you understand what I'm saying? Like, there is not one court case won. There is not.
You're right.
It sounds
even
good,
with that being said, for all the brothers, even everybody that we know, that's even you yourself, I don't knock no brother even with Taj, because the biggest thing that the Prophet also said, you're right, even with like the physical thing that you're saying to prove, I can't show, but you know, because I'm not beside him, or I can't pull out his works that he done for other people or anybody else. But with the press, the one thing that the Prophet said, the biggest weapon is the press. So
that's what we doing now.
Right. I can say for the website that he I believe he created, or they
No, he didn't create
they
that.
put
That was created
together.
by Ross. That was created by Ross, babe, but it's a bunch of misinformation on it.
But yeah, he's right. But I'm guessing he still had a helping hand there. That's what I'm saying. Like even with that, like even with just the information being put out, that's the most we can do, because like you said, we still learn from what the prophet had put out to even put it together or to put it into use.
Well, my thing is this: if you have been teaching that we are in Al Morocco and this is our land, you ain't built nothing on this land yet. In 30, 40 years, you ain't built nothing on this land. You just teaching people that this your land. That's be like if you tell me that's all my land right there. You ain't put no farm on it. You ain't put no house on it. You ain't put no school on it. You ain't did nothing. That's unacceptable. Like the good talk is okay, but that should be unacceptable. That's like the doctor who have a death every year from surgery. You ain't gonna let him operate on you. How I'm gonna let you dispense information to me if you haven't produced what you've been talking for 30 years? You just haven't produced it. It's not saying that the information is not intriguing, it's not captivating and mind-boggling and fascinating. But guess what? You're gonna jump in your little raggedy car. I'm gonna jump in my little raggedy car. And you're going to go in your little spot. I'm going to go on my little spot. We have no institutions. We have no businesses to show for it. We have nothing to show, no schools, no nothing. But we just going to keep on listening to, this is Al Morocco. They don't have a right. They don't have a delegation of authority. Like, this is what we're going to teach to our babies? Or are we going to teach how to build the great castles that was built in the time of Spain, or at least something in comparison in this age? You know what I mean? This is the important thing. Are we going to build an economy? We say that, okay, money ain't real. Gold and silver is real. But yet, if you buy a book off the website, they're going to say, send some notes in. They're going to try to change it up. Notes. Some notes. They playing games. They want them notes. Trust me. They want them notes. They ain't taking your gold and silver. They can talk that stuff all they want. You send them some gold for one of them books. I bet you ain't getting no book in the mail. They ain't taking that. They want them notes. They want that fiat. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we need to stop faking ourselves out as if people have our best interests at heart because they say some good, fascinating stuff. You know what I mean? They definitely want them notes, though. You know they want them notes. Shoot, I did a show the other night. The brother said that don't even send him no notes. You send him some money orders from the postal money orders. See, you know the postal money orders don't bounce. I mean, they secured by the government, but they against the government. Man, these people crazy. These people are against the government, you know what I mean? And said they're not a part of the government, but they want the postal money order from the government. And this stuff is all over the place. And this is why I try to maintain the integrity of the teachers of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the orthodoxy of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Islam, you got me, bro. Man, I appreciate y'all. We got to create more panels like this.
Yeah. I got another question, if you don't mind.
Indeed, come on.
With the dealing with the do the Supreme Court cases, right. Does that deal with the Constitution? Does that deal with the supreme law of the land if it's dealing in the Supreme Court itself, which is the law of the land, the only court?
Absolutely. The Supreme Court cases can be referenced and utilized to adjudicate something. But just to quote Supreme Court cases and you ain't in court adjudicating, now what's the point? You see what I'm saying? It becomes rhetoric at that point. You feel what I'm saying? Because you can go to court and use cases And it might work, it might not work for you. And so what we're looking at is internet rhetoric. The Supreme Court's case says this and says that, like, bro, go try it out in court. If you tell me that the friendship, the peace and friendship treaty is legitimate, why you ain't eating? Why you ain't eating? Why you only talk about that when you get locked up? Why you know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? Like,
right. And growing up, this is how I looked at it. Like, I looked at it like dealing with the system. How come we as the people can't go in the courtroom and defend ourselves without a lawyer? These was the questions growing up. So when the prophet had brought out this information, and when it was coming to a point of knowing who you are and to study yourself, I felt as though, and probably I'm probably speaking for many people who's looking or hearing of the information, because of the age of information, we've been so suppressed. People are so in fear of being scammed or paperwork and whatnot, trying to get free from a mind thinking of feeling though, you gotta always go to the middleman. So with the prophet saying, all you can do is, if you don't do nothing else, claim your nationality and enforce the Constitution.
No more. That's another thing. That's another misquote. And I think it's a fabulous thing. If you don't do nothing else, proclaim your nationality. But they'd say declare your nationality. Brother, that's not prophet's words. That's not the prophet's words. It's just not.
I believe it was in the book I had read.
I'm telling you.
The divine warning, matter of fact. Yeah, the divine warning.
I got it right here. Tell me where it's at. I got it up right here. Matter of fact, we're going to do it like this. I got the divine warning right here. And what I'm going to do is, just to show you, according to this document right here, this is the divine warning. Hold up. If this is the right divine warning, right? If this is the right divine warning, a divine warning by the prophet, let me show you something. I make this easy. I'll put nationality into the search and see how many times it say it. Guess how many times? No match. What I'm trying to say is that, and it works, because I just put national. It definitely works. So what I'm trying to say is that this is one of my methods I do research. If somebody says something real quick off the cuff, I need to verify that. See, because I know I had a conversation with Taj Tariq in private one time in Delaware. I met with him twice, see if we can come to a consensus. And I discovered that the brother was misquoting because he had assumed he had accepted, if you will, that the reincarnated prophet, Gibbon Zell called himself the reincarnated prophet, was Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And so a lot of what Taj quote is from a brother named John Gibbon Zell, but they call him Prophet, Brother Prophet. And so a lot of times, and I was trying to figure out, man, why we keep bumping heads. I'm like, man, the prophet ain't say that. The prophet ain't say that. And I figured out, I was sitting there talking to him. He kept quoting. I'm like, the prophet never said that. And he just kept talking. Taj really talked. He talked matter-of-factly. And ultimately, I was like, man, hold up. I had this big book with me. And I was like, hold up. I started looking through it real quick. There it is. He was quoting John Gibbon Zell. I say, that's the problem. They called John Gibbon Zell Brother Prophet. He said he was the reincarnated prophet Noble Drew Ali. And that's who he's following. And that's who he quote. And so when he say things like that, the prophet say, study. The prophet never said that. Not Prophet Noble Drew Ali. You follow what I'm saying? But it sounds good, and it's a good thing to do. But it's just not from the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Study, study, study. Whatever you do, declare your nationality. Prophet ain't never used the term declare your nationality. Nowhere. You follow what I'm saying, brother? I meticulously, I wanted to get these teachers right because I'm telling you, I was something else. You know the type of energy I have now? Imagine that reversed in the lower self. That was me. You know what I mean? That all this hyperness, imagine that reversed in the lower self and destructive. And so I'm the type of person that if I'm into something, I'm all in. If I'm gonna be a crook, I'm gonna be a whole crook. I ain't gonna be part-time crook. I'm gonna be a whole crook. I ain't going to the dollar store and rack up on speed stick. Nope. We gonna get the speed stick truck. I'll go all in. But vice versa, truth is basically falsehood reversed, because falsehood is truth reversed. You reverse that energy, that I have the same passion for what's right. And not saying that I'm always right, but I have the same passion for what's right. And so, in order for me to get it right, I have to study it through and through.
So from your stance and from your research, you pretty much saying, in order to even to kind of even like be on the lane of what Noble Drew Ali was putting out, is it to where he mentioned, I don't know if he did or not, mentioned the temples, right, claiming your nationality, it has to be through the temples.
Yeah. What I'm gonna say through the temple, proclaiming your nationality can be simply as saying that you're a Moorish American and living a life. The catch, though, is the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, we are teaching our people their nationality. This is something that has to be retaught. And the only place that is retaught is in the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's it. Everything else is falling short of what the Prophet brought. So he said, with us, all members must proclaim their nationality, because there's something distinctive about that us. If you're not with us, then proclaiming your nationality, yes, you can. That's your right. Just call yourself whatever you want. But he said, with us, all members, this is an organization, must proclaim their nationality. And we are teaching our people their nationality, which would implies that we forgot what it's all about. We are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know. See, we don't know some things. We don't know some things. And so, where is that taught? This is why I said on the Ben X show today that if they're not opening their meetings with the divine constitution and bylaws, if they're not reading that Koran, if they're not studying that questionnaire, then they are not qualified to speak on the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, because the Prophet Noble Drew Ali is regimented and is very simple and basic with us. That us right there is a heavy word. That means that we moving as one. Now, those who choose not to move as one, that's on them. But we moving as one. And so no matter what temple you go through, no matter what leader you under, Rasadiel or whatever one you go, whatever you choose to go with, when they say with us, that's who you with. That's unity right there. Those who are not with you, they're not going to think about that. They're not going to subscribe to that. They're going to willy-nilly. This is why you see when somebody let me tell you this. If a member of my temple get pulled over by the police, he doesn't fight that by himself, regardless of what it is. The first thing that they should do is, I need to call my Grand Sheik. Who is your Grand Sheik? I just need to call my Grand Sheik. The Grand Sheik should spring into action and try to smooth this out, separate the incident and the brother, extract him out of that situation or her out of that situation as possible, and then refocus to address the situation in an intelligent way. You follow me? That's how a nation and an organization move. If a person in a foreign country get hemmed up, the United States springs into action. Now, when people calling themselves Moors and they get hemmed up, Taj Tariq ain't getting none of them. You might seen a couple videos where he's standing outside the car. Call the sheriff. Call the sheriff. Call the sheriff? He up there explaining some book. Yeah, it's the Pope and the Jesuits. See, the Jesuits, and you like, man, this is like a $20 ticket. And they didn't call him in to talk about the Pope and the Jesuits. There. And then see the sheriff is have to come because the sheriff got jurisdiction and the police are not the police. And that, like, what in the world is this? And not saying that he is wrong, but it's not appropriate to associate it with the Moorish Science Temple of America. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not appropriate. It just doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. If I can show that Prophet Noble Drew Ali had a police escort in the first parade, right? Yeah, European police escorting him in the parade at the first annual convention. Wouldn't that be an indication if there were certain laws to be followed or statutes could be followed that does not place him in danger, that he is going to make sure that they are enforced, which means he's going to make sure that we are on point because he's going to be on point? It's just people have a misunderstanding of what the Moorish Science Temple of America is dedicated to. It's not about overthrowing the government. It's not trying to circumvent the government. It's not about that. It's about doing what all nations of people do. Doing what all nations of people do. They do it all the time. The Pakistanians come over here while we sitting up here arguing, while we sitting up here fussing about a right to travel and all that. Pakistanians then bought up a whole block. They done put a mosque in a piece of spot and bought up the whole block. We still talk about peace and friendship treaty. We talking about peace and friendship treaty, and you got Indians come up and buy the whole block, put a pizza store, put a little dirty corner store, and we talk about the peace and friendship. This is the insanity. I mean, this is the insanity of what we have found ourselves in. Yeah, we want to, like Broken Blade said, we want to squat in the house and laugh at Mexicans that got 20 in the house that they paying for. And all of them get their money right, and each of them get a house within the next 5 years. But we arguing about, is it right to squat in the house? And this is what the Moors do, that call themselves Moors, not Moorish American Muslims. And so that's what I find ridiculous. You follow me, brother?
True. Facts.
I mean, it's ridiculous. We should be working together, putting our coins together to accomplish something greater than what, instead of asking, what have the Moors done for the last 100 years? Won't you join an organized group that call themselves the Moorish Science Temple of America? Hopefully they're moving on the vibration of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, such as we're doing our best to do, and put our coins together to create something for the next generation to be proud of. So the next generation won't have to say, what have the Moors done? What have the Moors done? That's all they say. They say it just like that too. What have the Moors done? That's it. But let me give it. Yeah, go ahead, brother. I was ready to close out. Go ahead. The floor yours, brother.
One more thing, for what Noble Drew Ali had put out. Can you confirm if he truly brought out an adept degree or an adept lesson for the people?
Let me see if I'm hearing you right. What do you mean by bring out an adept degree and an adept lesson? I'm not sure.
I heard that the prophet had an adept. Well, knowing that he was a grand sheikh or noble prophet, did he have any lessons for the people or do he have a whole nother side of bringing out in a depth degree, like in a higher degree of what he was teaching from the law? Was he going to bring us to another level, as I'm saying?
Boy, let me tell you something. The true Adat book is the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. There was no such thing as an Adat book. What people call the Adat book was just a list of Adapts who had went through the chamber. Now, the Adat degree is not something that would be public because that's an Adat meeting. Those meetings are not public meetings. You follow what I'm saying? And so, of course, the prophet taught Adat degrees. Of course. But the greatest Adat degree is the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. I'm telling you. And anybody that's a member of our temple, these two brothers here. Hey, brother, what's up with that Holy Quran mean hold something different? It should since you joined the noble temples.
Islam, indeed.
It's way. I mean, bro, it's serious. It's serious, you know. But many people look at it so small and they don't know what to look for, and so that's what a responsible Grand Sheik does. He show you what to look for, show you what to pull out, show you how you can utilize it. As I said, let me do one thing before everybody go. I want to show. The brother said, I think somebody said that Master Farad Muhammad was the first one to teach the God degree. And I've been teaching it for a minute because I wanted people to know that Prophet Noble Drew Ali is the originator of this science. You know what I mean? And so let me real quick pull up the chapter in the Quran and just show you exactly what I'm talking about. It is, let me see if I can pull it up. Okay, here we go. Let me find it. Bam. I'm trying to go straight to it real quick. But many people think that we teach something that is close to what the Christian believe, because we like to say Jesus and et cetera, et cetera. Okay, let me see. Let me get to it. But anybody want to add anything?
Yes, I want to add something. Go
ahead.
Does someone else want to go before me? I'll wait.
No, go ahead, brother.
Okay. So one thing I'm going to share is something that I saw. Like I said, this is probably back in, this had to be about, this was probably 2000, back in 2000. So let's say 2 decades ago. When I first came across Moorish lessons. Actually, the first time I came across it, I was in high school. So this is going back even further because I was graduating from high school in 1998. So I actually was lucky. I had a substitute teacher who actually he was a long-term teacher. He was accredited, but long story short, it was African History Month, and he did a showcase and he wore fez, and he started off the presentation. He set up the stage like it was a classroom. He put a fez on, and he started the African American History Month showcase, like talking about the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. He started that showcase. This was in Franklin, New Jersey, in '97, and Miss Moore had the fez on, and he said, in 1880, he started talking. I was like, what's he talking about? 1887, 1886, what? It was just like the first time I ever heard about the prophet. So it was just like, I was like, huh? And then he went into a whole little thing. But from that moment on, I wanted to learn more about what he was talking about. Again, I was like 16 years old. So it would be another 2 years until I would see another man with a fez on in Atlanta. So when I saw that fez on, I said, yo, I stopped the brother and said, hey, what's the name of that hat? He said, this is a fez. I said, oh yeah. What are you? He said, I'm a Moor. I was like, he's like, he said, you want to come to the meeting? You want to come to the meeting? I said, y'all meet? He's like, yeah, we meet on Friday. So I came to the meeting. So I go in the meeting, and they showing me all this information. But one thing I was shown that I never saw again, and Allah is my witness, an older Moor showed me, and this is going back, this is like 98, 99. No, this is somewhere around 99, 2000. The older Moor showed me a document from back during the time of the Prophet where people wrote their names in to show who attended temple meeting. And he showed me where it said Fard Eel and Elijah. And Elijah had an appellate, but it was who we know now as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Well, both of these names were listed on this roll sheet. I never saw it again. He was an older Moor. Again, this is before the internet was all, this is before all of that. So I saw that back then, never saw it again. And I know that Brother Taharqa Bey, well, I heard Sharik Bey say that nobody has any type of evidence to the contrary. And I don't have any of these documents in my possession or anything like that. But I did see that they attended temple. As far as that document, and the document was old. It was an old document. So I just want to leave that up there on the table. And then I'm gonna say peace.
All right. So the document that you've seen, actually, I'm doing everything to authenticate it myself. You know what I mean? I'm actually doing everything to authenticate it because some people say, I think people try to say it ain't true and whatever. I don't think they've done any work to prove it one way or the other. But the document that you might be talking about is this right here. Oh, I can't give you all my stuff. The document you might be talking about. Right here. This is what you might be talking about right here. And it didn't have Elijah Poole. It should be Robert Poole Bey. You see. And what makes the document seem to me legitimate, but I don't want to be pseudo about it, is when you look at Robert Poole Bey, that was Elijah's real name. Robert Poole, Elijah. And then the sister C. Poole Bey, that's Claire Muhammad. And you see Bro John Poole Bey. That's the brother that's on the video with the little fez that people may have seen on the internet. You see what I'm saying? And then you see James Poole Bey. You see, and so I'm at the middle of the road, but my thing is to confirm. I've looked at a lot of documents. I've compared James Loback. I've been trying to compare James Loback's signature on there, but in fact, it most likely was a secretary that wrote that. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't a sign-in sheet. That was like a dues sheet. Who paid dues, an ADAP sheet. That's what that was.
Right.
Yeah. So the
thing
is,
it's been so long, but you're right. You've been crushing my memory now. It's been so long. Yeah.
Yeah. So like we got a brother here saying it's fake, but nobody has any concrete proof one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. Like if I say something is fake, I'm gonna tell you why it's fake. If I tell you something is legit, I'm gonna tell you why it's legit. You see what I'm saying? And so I'm at the middle of the fence of it that I'm trying a real scientist either proves or disproves. You follow what I'm saying? A real scientist, I don't take anything. It's like, for instance, one thing I teach in the Noble Temples that if you are not able to adjust with the changing information, the noble temples might not be for you. The Moorish Science Temple of America style is noble temples, because we are in the information age, and at the drop of a dime, we might get some new information out. And you're going to have to be able to shift with it. The reason why the Moorish Science Temple of America, in a lot of, for all intents and purposes, has been stagnated because many haven't been able to shift with the developing information. Much of the information that I put out, I can confirm, but it goes against all conventional thinking of what people was taught. I can confirm it. You follow what I'm saying? But if you get somebody for 20 years that have been following a certain understanding of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and then here I come saying, no, bro. And you like, what you talking about? No, bro. And I say, well, no, let me show you the documentation. And you still like, bro, this is how crazy it is. I show a document where the prophet had the position of the flags, where no one can doubt it. Do you know people don't want to change their flags back to the way that the prophet had it? No, the way I have my flags, oh, he's selling out. He got it in a subordinate position. But I show you without a doubt that this is how the prophet did it. The problem is not the way the flags are positioned. The problem is you don't understand why they are positioned like that. That's the issue. That's the issue. But I went like, oh, why you got it like that? Why you got it like I show you it in, I show a brother with proof, and they will not change from it. And so anybody that's a member of our temple, I tell them off the top, if you're not able to make a shift, this might not be for you. Because what I want to do is I want the members of our temple also to be researchers, that one day they say to me, Grand Sheik, I don't think that's correct. Show me what you got. I don't want them just coming to me saying that. You're going to have to show me what you got. And I'm going to have to be the same way. But with that, let me get ready to close out. I got work to do tomorrow. Man, I appreciate y'all. Hey, bro, I don't know how y'all got my email. Can y'all email me and we do this again?
Indeed, more.
Yeah, email me so y'all can come to the top of my email, and I'm going to set it aside, and maybe we can do this maybe twice a month or something. I appreciate y'all. Really do.
Definitely.
If I disagree with y'all, y'all not going to cuss me out, is you?
Oh no! Let's just get to what the truth is. I want to know what the truth is. That's
you know, y'all get like, don't get like my brother Cujo on me. You mean Dirty Moore? He's talking Dirty Moore. I mean, Cujo said, this is a Dirty Moore. I mean, that's right. So I don't want y'all calling me no Dirty Moore. You know what I mean?
I'm with the prophet, man. Whatever the prophet laid down, I'm with it. If he said it, I stick by it. I live by it. That's how I strive to live by it. If the prophet said it, I'm down with it. That's just how. If he ain't say it, I can't validate it. That's just how I'm rolling.
Indeed. And I appreciate Brother Onyx, brother. I wish you could have came on, but I missed a lot of the information that I was going to do. But I just want to say that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali is the standard. But if a brother is not, or a sister is not following the divine constitution and bylaws, if she's not or he's not following the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, you know, if they're not attending meetings, if they're not doing things with an organized effort, then they're not following the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. They could even start their own thing. One thing I've learned about the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, let me give y'all a degree. Y'all want a degree? Uh-oh, them temples going to be mad at me. I'm going to give it to y'all. I'm going to give the internet a degree tonight here on Moorish World TV. Family, this is going to be a powerful degree. Y'all ready for it?
Straight up.
We're going to drop
Indeed.
World TV. Here's the degree. So, this is real talk now, I'm trying to tell you. So, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, many people think that you have to be a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America to open a temple. Many people think that. But when you read the Holy Koran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, it doesn't say that. It says,
Chapter 47.
chapter 48, it reads, listen to the degree. The Moorish Science Temple of America is a lawfully and chartered and incorporated organization. Listen to this. Any subordinate temple that desires to receive a charter, the Prophet has them issued to every state throughout the United States. Slow it down. Any subordinate temple that desires to receive a charter, in other words, you become subordinate by which you practice, and then you request a charter. It's not the other way around. Any subordinate is a legal term. It's not a title. Like subordinate temple 1, subordinate temple 2, subordinate. Subordinate means that you falling in line with the major or the edicts of the original. So subordinate is an indication that you follow the master. So it says, any subordinate temple that desires to receive a charter, you don't have a charter first. You become subordinate in your practices of organizing a Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you ask for a charter. And from that charter, you can receive the benefits of the religious corporation, the religious society, and the body politic that metamorphoses into a nation. That is a degree those grand sheiks don't want you to know. Let's get people. Let's get the waking our people up. And last, many people will read or hear the video with Cook Bay say, I went to Baltimore, or the Prophet sent me to Baltimore, and I set up the temple. And when I set up the temple, the Prophet came down and seen that it was set up correctly, and I'm paraphrasing, and he set aside a charter. There you go. Everybody's trying to run and chasing paperwork and trinkets. It's all about the work. It's all about the work. It's not about the paperwork and trinkets. It's about what you're going to produce. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali gave out charters for the Moorish Business League, or the Moorish, I think it was the Moorish Youth League. He told them that if you get 25 people, then I will issue you a charter. He was telling this to young people, Moorish League. I think that's what it's called. I might be butchering it a little bit. So in other words, you organize first. And what's the benefit of the charter? Again, the benefit of the charter give you the rights that come with being within a religious society, a body politic, as well as a religious corporation. But many people don't see the benefits because it haven't been taught right. But I'll close on that, family. We got 11:56 on the East Coast. And we've been talking a long time. Y'all know, I just want to tell y'all something. If y'all going to be Moorish Americans, practicing Moorish Americans, let me tell you that you think you're going to find this Moorish American woman and she's going to do something that the Asiatic sisters don't do, or the Black Power sisters. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to hear the end of this one. It's 12 o'clock at night, and she going to start talking that charity starts at home. You imbalanced, and you need to balance it out and all that. So I'm telling you, This Moorish American lifestyle ain't easy. I don't think she heard me. She might be asleep. But Islam family, peace and love. Thank you, everybody. I hope y'all will email me so we can do this again. I'll be in touch. Islam?
Islam.
Islam family, peace and
Islam.
love. Happy Lord's Day to the Sheik. Islam.
Islam.